Welcome, one and all, to tonight's episode of Monsters and Mayhem. To begin, I feel a fair warning is needed. While tonight's game has a sort of Christmas coating on the surface, at its core it is very much a horror-themed story. As such, there are certain elements of storytelling that will be used with the intended purpose of making people uncomfortable. This does include things such as body horror, madness, and the harming of children. If those do make you uncomfortable, this is a warning before the game starts that those elements do take place in the story at some point. However, if you are okay with those being used as storytelling aspects and you're ready for some spookies tonight, strap yourself in. For tonight, Jacob, Tom, Laura, and myself will be diving into a new fantasy world, one of my own creation, the world of Ari. Tonight's game will be episode 1 of a 2-part story, which is taking place in the frigid north of the continent Romaro. So, sit down, make yourself comfortable, turn off the lights, and enjoy tonight's episode. Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Monsters and Mayhem. Now, things look a little different to begin with, and yes, we are aware, don't worry. A couple of us in different seats. I will be your DM tonight. I'm Charock. I normally play Jean on the main lineup. But we're going to be doing some Christmas episodes, and my one that I'm running tonight is a horror-themed Christmas episode. So we'll see how that all works out for everyone. I'm sure you are already familiar with the wonderful players we have tonight. But if not, we'll do some introductions. And why don't we start with Laura?
Hi everyone, I'm Laura. So in the main lineup, I usually play Celeste Highcrest, the Eladrin Bard. But tonight, I'm going to be shaking things up a little bit. And I will actually be playing the ASMR Cleric. Her name is Sarathiel, but you can call her Sarah.
Hell yeah. And Tom, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Well, normally I play all the weird animals. But I will be playing the half-orc warlock Tukumba.
Yeah. And lastly, Jacob, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and I usually play the druid Ingwe. And tonight, I will be playing Bardin Ingot, bit of a Celtic bard, a tribe. She's a dwarven matriarch, paladin of Moradin.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Yeah. So settle yourself down. We're going to be in for a bit of a cool and spooky night. And I hope you all enjoy. Welcome to the world of Ari. Roughly the size of our moon, it is a world of stories and quests, great nations and humble villages, heroes and hope. A world of people striving for peace and prosperity. Many of these people carry with them a faith, often of one of the many gods that watch over their world. Gods that have been known to imbue a portion of their own divine power into the devout worshippers of their name or cause. Some use their divine powers to become legendary heroes. However, heroes cannot exist without darkness to overcome, or a great evil for them to conquer. For this world in all its glory and all its light houses within a darkness like no other. There are dark gods that wish for nothing more than the death of all sentient life, fiends that live off tormenting the innocent, and beings from beyond our time and understanding that desire nothing but madness. Our story begins on the final day of the first month of winter. Known to many in the north as the Tomb of Winter, the month of Brimir signifies the beginning of the end of the year. We open with a faint grey of distant storm clouds held in check by jutting peaks. Before us, built into the face of the very mountain it resides, we see a city of grand stature asserting itself among the presence of the surrounding mountains known as the Ivory Peaks. Our vision drifts down to the city's heart, as though we were rested atop one of the many snowflakes seeking perch on the streets and roofs below. The city is grand in both in prominence and stature. Many of its buildings are carved from stone, iron, and pine. Its many temples pay homage to the gods of this world. Welcome to the great holy city of Deremborough. We see the passing of many individuals dressed in religious robes and blessed armor. We hear the sound of thick, fresh snow crunching before us as our vision focuses on a young and eager man. His movement is quick but made difficult by the recent snowfall. The last light of the setting sun looms overhead as he approaches the towering doors of the Temple of Bahamut, a massive and ornate church towering above most within the city. It is home to those who worship the Platinum Dragon, but on this eve, it'll be used as a meeting place where destinies will be forged. Destinies twisted and dark. The figure steps through the door and heads up a large set of silver stairs before them, making their way into the private meeting room often used by the Council of Deremborough. The man, a dwarf of unkempt brown hair, thick stubble, and clad in plate mail, adorned with the symbol of Moradin, a hammer before an anvil lit by divine light. He stands between two figures who look back at him as he enters. The figure on the left catches his eye first. Tom, if you'd like to describe what your character looks like.
Right. Tukumba is a not super strong half orc, but he is well kept. He has long hair in a ponytail, and he's wearing a cloak, but it's open, and you can see he's wearing a white shirt with most of the rest of his clothes in brownish colors. And next to him, he has a sword in his hilt. And I think that's pretty much it. It looks shaven, a little bit of a goatee, maybe. But
yeah. So, the figure on the right turns their head, but a moment later, catching the young man's glare. Laura, if you'd like to introduce your character by describing them.
So, Sarathiel looks to be a normal human woman, standing at about 5'7", long dark brown hair. She's got piercing blue eyes. Nothing too out of the ordinary about her. She's kind of clad in just normal studded leather armor, and she's kind of holding a javelin in her hand. She's kind of always got wields it almost like a spear. Standing there.
Awesome.
Sorry, I was wearing a half-plate armor as well, actually. But
yeah.
Not that it matters, really.
No, it adds to the visual. So, opposite the door, atop a slightly elevated platform, sits 5 throne-like seats. One sits empty, the others occupied in some manner or other. Sitting in the center is a large human male. He is clad in silver and blue armor. The symbol of the Platinum Dragon rests atop his chest plate. His thick white beard and long hair, tied into a tight ponytail atop his balding head, is only noticed once the attention is drawn away from the 2 long scars that drag across the right side of his face. This is Bishop Castor Beowulf, head of the Platinum Ward. To his immediate left sits a tall woman of mint green skin. Her eyes appear all black, her dimly glowing blue irises the only color in them. Atop her head, she dons a black hijab, her body wreathed in green and white robes, a silver breastplate breastplate encasing her torso. The symbol of ethics rests atop it, hanging from the necklace around the neck. Sorry, I'm fumbling my words here. The symbol of ethics rests atop it, hanging from the necklace around her neck. This is the High Cleric Salma Kadir, leader of the Sentinels of Rest. Further to the left resides the newest member of the council, Alistair Quess, a worshipper of Leldor, the god of life and luck, and the only member of the council whose god is currently unrepresented within the city walls by temple or church. A human male, seemingly in his early 40s, he has short reddish hair, fair but weathered skin, and is clad in brown splint armor, shrouded with pale green vines and snowdrop flowers. Atop his shoulder rests a reddish-brown falcon, preening itself, seemingly unfazed by the happenings around it. Lastly, to the immediate right of Bishop Castor Beowulf, sits a dwarven woman. Jacob, if you'd like to introduce your character.
So sitting on the very ornate chair that signifies her status is a very normal-looking dwarven woman, except not normal because she's wearing very human clothes. Portly, long beard, down. Not really sure if she would appear, as Gimli says, very much like a male of the race. With her leather clothes, as if she was just come in from work, and it was unremarkable that she was there. Very odd that she's sitting on that chair.
Yeah, awesome. So they are seated to the left, I believe I said, or to the right, sorry. In an echoing boom, an echoing boom hits your ears as Bishop Castor as Bishop Castor Beowulf slams his maul into the ground. Greetings to all of you. I see you were a moment late, but we are not worried of that at the time. You've all been called in for either your abilities or concern of the situation. Many of you have heard, I'm sure, that there have been children going missing in the surrounding areas. Some from nearby towns and villages, as he turns and looks towards Toowoomba, and gives a slight nod before turning back and continuing. And late, it seems it has breached our walls. Only one child, but we feel confident it is of the same situation. A few days ago, or close to a week now, we sent off another team to investigate. And the last we'd heard from them is that they'd come across a small log cabin over to the far east. It is not in a most pleasurable of places, and I wish I did not have to send more that way, but the circumstance proves itself that we need those with the abilities as good as yours to go and investigate. It is at the base of the ice lung, which the ice lung immediately is known to most of you, being familiar with the area. The ice lung is a very particular mountain that is known for the fact that for some reason there is an ever-present snow that constantly lingers in that location. It is forever cold there, and it is known as the lung due to the fact that a lot of it has been hollowed out, whether through natural caves or mining or things of that nature. But it is many people are amazed by the fact that it still stands as a mountain and that there haven't been elements of it that have collapsed, or at least not as much as should have been. He sort of sits up in his chair and takes a step down as he looks across you all. This team has not been heard of since, and your mission will be to inquire with the your mission will be to check the area and see if you can find what has happened to them. Investigate to what has happened to the team and find out where these children have been going. Their mission led them there, and I hope that it will lead you to the source of this problem. Sort of just pauses for a moment and looks along you all. Sarathiel, Takumbwa, and then he looks at the gentleman standing between you all. Brenor, you leave in 2 days. The break of dawn, and you head east. If you so wish to stop at the city of Quaints, there is someone at a shop known as the Blessed Drink who has gift for you that we have organized. In addition, they have been informed to give you a discount on any of their products should you wish to acquire them, if you find they will be helpful on your journey. But do not linger. Seek out Clarice in the city of Quaints and move on quickly. Are there any questions you have amongst you all? Any questions from the council? He sort of turns and looks over his shoulder.
Beowulf sounds ominous.
Yes.
Do you think these three are enough?
I think with the training they've had, these three are the best option we've got. Takumba has put himself up, for he's heard of the stories before even we.
That is correct. I am here to investigate the children that has gone missing.
I believe some 6 had gone missing from your home, is that correct?
That is correct. At least that we know of, for now.
Aye. And Brenor was ready for a trial anyways, to prove themselves to this council. We saw this fit, although it will be arguably more challenging than most. You see the sort of mint green skinned woman. This is a humanoid that exists within the world of Ari, which is known as a Duskwalker. They generally have colored skin, black eyes with the exception of their iris, which usually glows a particular color, hers bright blue. And they have rough, almost the human equivalent of like how skin gets rough on the back of like a crocodile. They have those sort of fixtures on the top of their foreheads, their forearms, shoulders, and back. And we see as she stands up, High Cleric Selma Kadir. At that moment, she walks forward and she looks down at names. She looks down at Sarathiel, and she goes, "I figured with everything you'd said, everything you've been doing, you'd want this opportunity of freedom, a time to explore, a time to do something outside the city walls. It will be a tough trial, but I'm hoping you are up for the quest."
Thank you. Never want to turn down the opportunity to get my feet wet, so...
I'm glad to hear it. When you return, I hope a long rest will be due for all of you, and I truly just hope you return. I know it will be challenging. All the best to you, as she steps back and moves her way back to her seat. They all sort of like look at each other for a moment, nod. All right, meeting is adjourned. You leave in 2 days. May the quest guide you well. And
So Barden would open her hand, and Bruno would know the symbol to come to her.
Yep.
And if you have very high perception, you'll see her say, Come see me, laddie, on the night before you leave. It'll help you along your way."
Thank you, grandmother. I appreciate it. Turns around and begins to make his way over to the door. He sort of looks over at the two of you as he's leaving, and he goes, "Oh, a bit nervous, but I think it'll go well. You excited? You ready? I mean, missing children, not something to get excited about, but the idea to prove myself. That's what I'm excited for.
It's always exciting to see things that are different, especially outside the walls. When you lived here so long, it's always good to get out there and get a bit of fresh air.
Hi.
You will be fine. You will be fine.
Thank you, friend. I appreciate your vote of confidence. Well, all right. We should probably go get a drink, get to know each other. And then once we head off, I don't know about you, but that Clarice sounded like a good idea. We could meet her.
Aye, absolutely.
Sounds good.
I mean, I got nothing else to do.
Lead the way.
It's a good break from the, the daily chores, sweeping the floors, things like that.
Hey, well, you're not going to like the name of the. You're not going to like the name of the inn, I suggest. It's called the Shackled Drink. So let's go. I
thought you were going to say the sweeping floors or something. So step out from what I thought.
No, not that bad. Yeah. Well, shackles. I guess it's bad. As the conversation fades, as you walk out into the snow-laden city, the doors closing behind you with the guards taking their place again. We cut to a moment where we see nothing but white. Our eyes blur for a moment and begin to taper out as we notice the white we are seeing is a powerful blizzard. It is now 3 days later, and we see Sarathiel, Tukumbwa, and Bardwin making their way through the snowy scapes, the wind pelting against their face, building snow on the edges of it. You guys are headed east, and you've already visited the city of Quaints and are making your way towards the Ice Lung. When you see in the distance, in the general direction you're headed, a bolt of red electricity, like lightning hitting the ground, but in reverse, launched from the ground upward into the sky, separating the clouds. What would you like to do?
No.
I don't know if this kind of anomalies are usual out here. I'd never really been this far east, at least not from the city.
Should we investigate what caused that?
Well, no matter what we should do, we should always keep moving. You don't want to stop in the middle of a blizzard, or you'll freeze like a popsicle. I don't know what a popsicle is, but...
You'll be fine. Is it in our general direction, or is it a detour if we go that way?
It is almost directly where you're headed, maybe slightly to the south, but it does look far. Where whatever it is, it looks like it happened far away. But you saw a mass, like a huge amount of the clouds just separate, like there was a sonic boom in the center of them, and they've all been dispersed, and they're still sort of somewhat dispersing at this point.
But no sound?
No sound, not that you've heard.
Right. Well, we might as well keep going. If we wanted to investigate that, we are on the way already.
Alrighty, so you're pushing off in that direction?
Arms up over my face, like shielding my eyes from like the onslaught of ice in my face.
How tall are you? Like, are you like a big frame or a small person?
Just like a normal, like average woman. She stands about 5'7".
What?
Taller than I am, but.
Okay, fair. I can't really shield you, and I'm not that big.
I'm going to get you all to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving
I have
throw.
points in strength for once in my life.
Hey!
What? You have strength?
I know.
How does that work? Can you explain?
Ooh, 14.
14, okay.
I am going to use my extra D10 because I fucked up.
Is it magical?
Yes, it is magical.
It is magical. You can add a 4 to your
Add a 4 as well? A 4 as well?
That would be to both of them, right? Because they're within 10
Yeah,
feet.
to both of them. Yeah. You can both add a 4, just the number 4 to your roll.
23.
18.
And
25.
Alrighty. All succeed. You will all sort of put your heads down and begin to start moving, and at that moment you take sort of 2-3 steps, and suddenly you see what looks to be a wave of snow in front of you beginning to lift up and just motor towards you. At this moment, you all brace yourselves and put your head down, and as it hits, you all slide back about 5 feet. But you notice as you open your eyes, midway through this sort of this wave coming through you, there's something different about it. You feel this heat behind it. And you notice that there's this almost red ethereal energy that slams into you from the other side of the snow and passes through you as it disappears off into the distance. And as you sort of readjust your sort of standing, you hear what sounds like a distant echo of a deep male scream. Just...
Alright, that was not normal. Do you think that was a delayed echo from that thing we saw?
I don't know. That seemed very far away. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's... I don't know. Are we crossing some sort of threshold, do you think?
Sounds weird.
I think the tall lad is right. I think that's the sound coming slower.
Oh, right.
Just keep an eye out. It seems like we might not necessarily be so safe.
I can't hear too well out of my left ear.
I mean, with the blowing winds, it would be that you would be yelling a little bit type thing.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I didn't want to scream into the mic, but I would assume that they're all like, "Ah!"
Did you see that? Yeah.
Right.
So Barden now would be in the clothes that Bruno was wearing when we first, like the chainmail with the leather, the symbol of Moradin, large shield and helm. At this point, riding on top of a giant boar.
Yep. Okay. I will say as well, because you've got the helm and that, did you want to keep that hush-hush, so to speak, underneath? Did you?
Oh, I think it'd be pretty obvious.
Yeah, yep. Okay.
But, yeah, pretty obvious. Like, unless any of you have really low intelligence.
Let me check that. So, define low.
Like, the man you met was a man. I mean, they're dwarves and she's got a beard. But, like, a young man and an old lady dwarf as the difference. But she would be claiming to be probably one there on the road. Like, she'd be claiming to be Bruno. Like, yeah, I'm definitely Bruno. You guys are... All dwarves look the same to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Why don't we say, for the sake of this, why don't you do a deception check, and the two of you do insight check, and we'll see if you guys have picked up on this at some point in the journey.
Insight.
That's a natural 1.
It's not one of my...
All right.
All I see is the boar.
Oh, wait. Insight is wisdom, not intelligence, so
Yep.
I might get a little bit lucky. Oh, that's cocked.
By your face.
What's that? That's a 16 plus 7. Someone can do math for me.
Oh shit, 23.
23.
Right.
Oh, that's what I rolled. 23.
Oh really?
I got 3.
What's it? You hit it to... You make it to break it? Something like that? There's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, damn. Sarathiel, you're familiar. You've sort of picked up on it as things have gone by. Tukumbwa, you are riding with your boy Bruno. Whose name I'm actually going to move to the top because I keep forgetting it. There we go.
Say my name.
Say my name. Alrighty. The blizzard is pushing on strong. Are you guys continuing in the same direction, headed towards that lightning or towards the ice lung?
So we got to the point where we have to pick one?
No, it's still the same general direction.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're just continuing with it.
Keeping in the general, just... Yeah, sweet. Okay.
where I was told to go.
Right.
About 4 hours pass, and the blizzard begins to dull. The last of the setting sun can be seen cresting behind you, and the purples of nights are seen in the sky before you. You notice as well that no clouds have seemingly reformed over where the lightning had shot up. But like a wall of solid sort of stone, there are clouds that have begun to reform back over the ice lung in the far distance and have stopped against an invisible force at that point. And you can see as snow and storm is beginning to form above the ice lung again. Whatever this was, it seemingly dispersed it temporarily.
That seems very odd to me.
You push on.
All right, lads. Looks like that's where we're heading, don't you think?
Must be connected.
You push on a little bit further, and eventually night comes, and it is time for you to all find rest for the evening. There is a bit of an outcrop near the base of a mountain, not too far, that you begin to head to, and eventually find rest there and set up camp for the night. At this point, we return to the insides of a beautiful home, being kept warm by a writhing fireplace. The front door opens as we see Barden make her way in. Inside, seated around the fireplace, we see another 3 dwarves. One Bruno, one we are familiar with, and we see Bruno's mother, Sharon, and Bruno's father, Ordir, as they are congratulating the young boy on being chosen for this trial, for this quest. This is the shared home of Bardin and her family. As you make your way in, you see the mother and father stand up and they go, welcome home, welcome. We'll leave you to it. We know you've got plenty important things to talk with the boy about. We know it's all official duties and that, but and you see Odrin just run over and give you a big hug, and he goes, "We're just so happy with everything going on. Please do well for our boy. We know you will." As he sort of turns and steps outside the door, the mother as well, and they turn and look at you and go, "We're headed for a drink. We'll leave the place to you tonight. We'll quietly come in later, not to disturb you all. So the boy can rest well before he departs in the morning."
You're so proud of him.
Aye. What a good lad. Closes the door and heads off. Bruno sort of turns to you as you make your way in, and he goes, "Hey, you said you wanted to speak to me the night before. I'm glad you're here. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous, but I think I can handle it."
How's the lassie doing?
Doing well, doing all right. Also nervous, but I think she'll be all right.
Have you gathered any more information before your journey tomorrow?
Nothing really. Everything that the bishop told us was sort of all I could find out. It seems that a lot of this was very unknown. They were stepping into a big mystery, and their disappearance was worrying. But due to it being the ice lung, it's feared that it could be just that they've gone missing in these tunnels. I don't know. It's a wild place. They say that there is magic sort of brewing like a volcano from that mountain, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Hopefully we can find them and bring them home too.
Well, you're a very important part of our future, and
Thank you, grandmother.
as you know, I hold the future of our clan. So I'd like you to take some time here and rest, and I will pray for you. Drink this
Ah,
before you go to bed.
thank you. Before I go to bed. All right. I'll go put it by my bed in the meantime then. Will it help calm me? Because I feel like I'm going to have a rough time sleeping tonight.
And that'll help you. That'll help you sleep, laddie. It's important for
Perfect.
the family.
Thank you. All right. And he turns and runs upstairs for a few moments.
Laddie, leave your gear here.
Aye.
Leave it by the door.
Yes, of course. I'll get my things prepared. And you hear him put down the drink before preparing all his gear and putting it sort of out on a little table out in the hallway by the rooms. And after a bit more of a conversation between you all, he goes to his room, grabs his drink, gives you a bit of a smile, downs it, and lays down in bed. Eyes shut and drifts off to sleep. We cut from there as we return to our adventurers. As you were all walking to the base of the ice lung, you notice that there is a particular spot where for some reason the weather doesn't seem as rough. It doesn't seem as constant or as heavy. And upon making your way towards that general direction, you notice that it is also somewhat in the same sort of line as to where this red lightning had launched itself a day or two prior. Or 2 days prior, I should say. You move closer, and from the corner of your eye as you're making your way up, actually, at this point, I realize I probably should have asked earlier, can I have everyone's passive perception?
-2. Oh, you mean my character?
Yes.
12.
Sarathiel's passive perception is 17.
Holy fucking shit! What the fuck?
She's a cleric,
well,
she's got a
well.
lot of wisdom.
So do I, but not that much.
Yeah.
What?
Barden's is also 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. Team 12.
I know of the cleric perception. I got a cleric in the other game that I'm playing, and he bounces between an 18 to a 20 passive perception, so yeah.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so as you are making your way up, Sarathiel, you see this first. As you arc around a large rock formation that seems to jut out sort of southward from the mountain, creating an almost somewhat crescent-shaped moon around where you are headed. You move around to see in the distance what looks to be a small log cabin right to the north, right at the base of this mountain, up a bit of a snowy hill. In addition to that, you also see on the edge of the mountain on the other side what looks to be a large figure standing, looming, looking over that general direction. It's far enough away that all you see really is a bit of a silhouette of them.
Kind of like threw my hand up really quickly. Just kind of turn and look. And then
What?
I kind of like point it out. See if I can kind of make out, like kind of like trace the outline of the silhouette with my finger in the air.
What do you see, lassie?
I see, I'm not quite sure what I see. Could be a tree or no. I don't know, it kind of looks like someone standing there. Large though. Massive. For me to be able to see it from here.
Well, we're approaching the cabin. Is that correct?
This is much bigger than the cabin.
What
You can
is
see the
this?
cabin there. This is behind the cabin.
Well, if the cabin was supposed to be dangerous, maybe there is someone there.
Be a big fellow.
Can
then.
we see clearly what she's looking at now that she's pointed it out?
I'd say once she's pointed it out, it takes a few moments, but eventually you sort of like catch this little figure on the horizon, sort of on the edge of this mountain, and you realize that that's probably what she's talking about.
We should move closer, but secretly.
Secretly move.
I think we should try to avoid this thing, if it is a thing.
DM, are we standing out in the open where we are? Like, are we
You
like
sort
round to
of-
the corner at this point?
You've sort of just crested it. I would say if you put your hand up to stop, I'd say you can sort of just be like heads peering over the edge of these rocks.
From standing where we are, would there be any path that we could take that wouldn't take us out directly into the open, like across the snow towards this this log cabin?
Not particularly. As you're looking up, you do notice that it is a bit of an odd landscape ahead of you. For some reason, in the center of this crescent moon type sort of shaped base before the mountain itself, you notice that it is pretty much flat snow for the most part, with a few odd trees, a cabin, and then there are these odd little mounds that seem to protrude up of snow all about. You could potentially use those to duck and weave behind them, but they aren't all particularly high. The highest of them probably sits at about 5 feet.
Unless you want to go burying yourself under the snow and kind of crawling under it, I don't really know if there's going to be much point in trying to sneak our way around. I mean,
No.
I feel like we'd be easy picking either way.
Maybe let's spread out a little bit and then move closer. In case this thing does something.
What's concerning you, laddie? Do you think it might attack?
Me? Well, you don't know. We're going to a place that is dangerous. And there's something there that seems out of place. So best
Might
to
be
be
a
safe.
trap. Should I send
Well,
Horace
it
ahead?
could be. Who?
What's a Horus?
Your horse.
Oh,
Horace.
the giant
Oh.
pig.
is a giant pig.
I didn't know it
And
had a
I
name.
lumber off.
You can send your mobile bacon if you want.
An awful thing to say about a pig.
Bacon is nice. It is an honorable thing to be
Yeah, but
bacon.
not when it has a face.
One day it won't. And it will be bacon.
Aye, well, Mr. Tacumba, if I send Horace ahead, he'll no longer be able to carry me. So if we end up in a fight, I'll be much slower.
I will help you out if you need that, my friend.
It's an option. It's an option for him to head on ahead, or we can go together.
DM, just quickly, how deep is the snow that we're walking through? Is it like knee height or is it like ankle height?
It's about sort of mid-calf.
Okay, so it's not. Is it like rough terrain considered? Like, are we moving considerably
It
slow?
is considered, yes, it is considered rough terrain.
I'm just thinking, that poor little dwarf friend over here. She gets off her boar. Oh, sorry, he gets off his boar, and it's like in the heavy armor. This little tassel on the top of his helmet.
This is a little indicator.
Maybe that's our game plan. Just send him in. No, I think that maybe you should keep your steed. It just might be easier for the steed to make its way through the snow, and I'm not strong enough to carry you on me back.
I can walk myself. Won't be carried by the likes of you.
Well, I wouldn't be able to anyway.
I would not be able to carry such a wonderful blessing myself, unfortunately.
All right.
Oh, onward then.
Alrighty. So you're remaining on your boar, correct? And you are all...
I'll remount the boar.
Okay. Now, as you make your way out, are you guys going to attempt stealth to try tuck between these sort of snow mounds and the occasional tree, or...?
I don't think we were trying to really after that conversation.
I just don't know if there would be much point. I mean, if this thing is high up and then looking down at us, it's kind of a little bit. I mean, we can try, but the trails we leave behind us are going to leave out gouges in the snow, I reckon. So
let's just spread out slightly and then see, just for safety of everyone.
all right.
I tried to stealth,
Okay, what you get?
and it was very obvious that you weren't going to be stealthing.
Ingwe, is
No.
that you?
No large
Hiding a bush.
androgynous dwarf on a large boar.
Just every step, it's like wearing slippers with one of those like pig toys. Just
Especially wearing that armor as well. You know, the plate armor
Yeah,
and
true.
the sun kind of like.
so yeah, all right. So you guys begin to push forward.
I'm going to sorry, just to add another thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and avoid those large lumps of snow that are kind of like peeking out.
Okay.
I've just got a strange feeling about them kind of in the pits of my stomach. So I want to
Yeah.
I don't want to get more than like, let's say 15 feet away from one.
Okay, no dramas. Understood. It's a little difficult at time because there are some as you're getting, and also this is assuming you guys are moving forward to approach the cabin, correct?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think that's what's
okay.
the plan.
You do notice that they some of them are quite close and it becomes a bit difficult to keep 15 feet, but for the most part you're able to remain that sort of distance away. And you guys begin to make your way up, and about 20-30 feet into your movements you notice the figure sort of step down and behind out of sight from the rocks.
Great.
Things send shivers up my spine. Not from the cold neither.
What do you think these big lumpy things are? And I'll pull out my lance and poke one of them. Maybe like halfway there.
Okay. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard do you poke it? Like, as if you were trying to push the lance right through the mound, or if you're just sort of poking a little tiny divot into it?
Yep, pretty hard.
Do I have a
Okay.
chance to respond before he goes ahead and, or do you do it as you're asking?
Oh, no, I would have talked. Like, I would have been like, what do you think's up with these?
I don't know. I just got a strange feeling about you know, we've. I don't know. This landscape isn't really familiar to me, and strange lumps in the snow. Just think, you know.
At that moment, you hear as your it was a javelin, correct?
Lance. I have
A lance. Okay. As your lance
So
sort
it's
of
reach, 10-foot reach. So it's
Yep. So you got a bit of a distance. Okay. You sort of, as you're finishing up that sentence, Sarathiel, you hear as you see some of the snow shift, and Barden, you feel the tip of your lance hit something solid underneath. And a little bit of snow falls off and reveals some sort of dark stone, just a little bit. You see sort of as about maybe, I would say about 4 or 5 inches of snow on top falls off. And you see a little bit of what looks to be a dark stone.
Oh, so they're just rocks then.
and then I will like use my lance to try and like
Yeah.
clear. I don't think I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna like.
Yeah. You begin to clear, and as you're brushing over the top, snow begins to fall and scatter, and something in your mind clicks as you realize that the facial recognition part of your brain triggers, and you see a face on the rock beneath. As the snow continues to drift off and fall, you see a visage of a statue of a child, about the age of 6, holding the sides of their face, tears streaking down, and a look of horror, their eyes wide, as they're just staring forward towards you.
Look, lassie. And then I will approach right up and then like fully look at it.
You brush it off, and as you go down, you see it is a full statue, head to toe, very detailed, of a small child, about 6 years of age.
Are the other ones the same?
I mean, I would assume so.
we should probably check, and I will unearth another one.
Okay. As you go over and you begin to brush one off, you sort of notice that the top where you're hitting isn't quite as smooth. And you begin to make your way down, and you feel shoulders before you feel a head. And you continue down and brush down, and you see again what looks to be a child turned as if they're running, but in their hands they hold their head. And again, it looks like it is in a screaming position, stone tears down the cheeks as it is staring up at you.
I think we found out what happened to the children.
I think whoever lives here has a sick sense of humor. I mean, this is an awful thing to have as lawn decorations.
In
Yes.
the in looking at the clothes and stuff, are they consistent with the reports that we've had about children going missing?
Ooh, I'm going to say make either just a raw intelligence check or a history check. Determining whichever one you do has a different DC.
I will just make a raw intelligence check, please. 4 and 8.
Okay. So a 4 for the raw intelligence, or 8 total?
8 total. I did zero. They're both the same. 0.
Okay,
I have
okay.
a 0 modifier.
So looking upon them, you're not sure if it's the difficulty, the fact that the clothes are made of stone, and that way you're having trouble telling the materials, or...
And the human children too, like...
Exactly. Their fashion's different, ugly, weird. But yeah, the two you've uncovered so far are human, and from what you can tell, you don't recognize if it's clothes from any of the areas of report. What would you like to do?
I
I
don't
feel.
really...
Go
Sorry.
on.
No. Okay, yeah, fine. I'm just a little bit shaken up. Looking at this. I got a really bad feeling about this. Maybe these couldn't be the actual children, could they?
I can try to have a look if you want. I'd like
I'm just
to.
thinking either someone's got a really sick sense of humor, or something really terrible has happened to these children. I don't know if there's any way that we can save them past this point. If this is actually them.
Well, this one's definitely not savable. It seems to have lost its head.
What?
And
I'll kind of
yes.
like lean around the one that I'm looking at and be like, oh my god!
Yes, it's unfortunate. Can I do a medicine check on the other one that was uncovered? To
Yeah.
see if it is a statue with the common statue's feature, or if it looks like someone turned to stone.
Okay, so with this, you can either do a medicine check or an arcana check, depending. Sort of each one has a different DC.
I think I'll do a medicine check.
Okay.
That's natural 1. That's that is a 7 total.
Yeah, look, who knows? This is either excellent craftsmanship or someone's turned to stone. It is way too difficult to tell.
It's hard to tell, unfortunately.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Absolutely. You begin to focus for a moment, and you all see the eyes of your dwarven companion. A ring of purple fire sort of encapsulates the iris of their eyes, and it flashes for just a moment before settling. And if you were to look very closely in their eyes, you'd see tiny purple ruins all around the outside. As you begin to look around, and you notice each of the 2 statues uncovered are emitting some form of magic. The one that has the head removed, you are noticing a stronger presence of magic from the base of the neck, and you are seeing a dim purple glow of the same magic from under an additional 7 of those mounts.
Okay, so the first one was less magical. Yep. The dead-looking one was.
It was the same
magical.
Sort of magic everywhere, except at the base of the neck. There seemed to be a brighter glow from there.
Okay.
And at the base of the head, technically.
Okay.
Do you get a school as well?
Good question. Let's find out.
I hate that question.
Yeah, me fucking too. I had to Google it.
While you're doing that, I will clear the 7 mounds. And actually, I'll clear like 10 mounds to see what's under the non-magical mounds.
Let's have a look. I don't know what school of magic it would be. I would say, based on my knowledge of the schools, I would say transmutation would probably be the one that makes the most sense. Right. But you go and one by one you begin to clear the mounds. You go to the first one that has a glow, and as you begin to uncover it again, there you see what looks to be an older child than most of the others, about 9 years old. A tall, thin, lanky girl who's sort of got her hands or head in her hands, and you see stone tears coming out the side. You go to the next one and you see what looks to be a child as young as 3 years old, who is sort of in a sort of running position, one hand on the floor as well, stone tears from their eyes. You see what looks to be 2 children holding themselves, embracing themselves, one of about 4, one of about 6. One of them, the top of their head has been split in 2, sort of a crack down the side here, the top half resting on the ground next to it. And again, you see a stronger glow emitting from the inside of the head. You go through them one by one.
What about the mounds that aren't magical? I'd probably communicate too. Would you guys be bossed around if I bossed you around?
I'd definitely listen.
Grandma? Yeah. Hey, Dikimbo, can you check that mound over there? It's not giving off a magical glow. But if you see what's under that one.
I will check.
Alrighty. You make your way over, and the one thing you do notice as well is a lot of the ones that aren't giving off glows generally tend to be smaller. And as you go over, having seen these sort of 3-year-olds even in this circumstance, you fear the worst. And as the snow is uncovered, you see underneath what seems to be a small rock under the one. And you make your way over to another and clear it, and you see what looks to be a small sapling of a tree attempting to sprout and grow, having been encased in the snow. I will say as well, Sarathiel, with your high perception, these figures, as you're going through, the one that catches your eye the most as things are going on, the 2 embracing, the 6-ish and 4-year-old kids, the one whose head is split in 2, and you notice something different about the stone there. You notice as you look closer, it looks as though there is bone beneath it that is somewhat fossilized. And you see where the brain was that has now been sort of cut in 2. You see what looks to be an almost amethyst-like jewel that is not very clean, or sort of, it's very dirty still. The shine is not really there. It's hard to see amongst the stone, but you see where the brain once sat seems to be a large amethyst stone.
She would definitely call out to the rest of the crew, kind of usher them over and show them and just say, I think that these are the children.
I am afraid that it seems like you're right.
Who could...
Seems like it.
No, there wouldn't be a person alive who do something like this. It has to be some sort of horrible creature. I can't imagine that gods would let someone this vile live. Do this? I mean, these children look tiny, barely come up to me knees, some of them. It just...
Well, I would assume that from the fact that this one has a split head and this one has its whole head removed, that we are up against a creature that are strong. usually creatures that are very strong have a tendency not to know their strength or utilize their strength when fighting smaller creatures. So I would assume that this is just a base nature to attack in a certain way. So I think we are up against something big, and I think he just walked behind the rock.
DM, just quickly, kind of thinking back, I don't know if I've ever had any kind of experience with this type of magic before, but I'm just wondering, the statues that I see of the children that aren't like decapitated or like harmed, I guess, in their depiction, would I know if they were beyond the realm of saving, or would there be a chance perhaps at reviving them?
Interesting. I would say make a make a medicine check.
Can I assist?
Sure. I'll say the two of you, so you can do it at advantage or you can each take a roll.
I'll give her advantage because I keep rolling once.
The curse of the DM finally playing.
Yeah, twice in a row.
Yeah.
Same dice too.
Oh, fucking jinxed me. I rolled a 1 and a 2.
No! Come on! You were supposed to be the chosen one.
Well, it's yeah.
That's 3 ones in a row, I think, as far as I remember.
Put them in the chat.
1 and a fucking 2. So that's an 8 for my medicine check.
That's still good. I'm considering. Okay. It's difficult to say. You've probably heard stories of petrification being a thing. You've heard far less of people recovering from petrification, and you're not quite sure the requirements for someone to be brought back from this. It's tough to say. And also amongst it, you've never heard of anything like fossil bone or sort of gemstone organs amongst it. But yeah.
Well, I don't.
Any dwarves?
Amongst them, yes, you see 2 dwarves. In fact, one of them is towards the back. You see a dwarf child who has lost their right arm and is carrying it almost in the same place where it would be, but you can see a very clear break and a slight detachment. And you also do see a half-orc child amongst them as well. You see a Goliath child. There is one particularly big child who has an iconic shaved head, even though within the world of Ari, it is more a tradition than an actual thing Goliath have. Goliath can actually grow hair in Ari. And you also see a small dragonborn child who, from what you can see, looks to be by far the youngest. The dragonborn child looks like they are maybe 2 years old.
I think the only thing that we can do at this point is to stop whatever's doing this.
We can collect their bodies later and try to give them a burial of sorts.
Or at least perhaps take them back to their families.
Shouldn't we try and get these ones out first so that we can get more information? I have something that I can try.
What does that sound?
What is that?
You hear a strange creaking sound as you're talking. And you turn to Kumba, being the one who mentioned it first. You get first sight on this.
Oh no.
As you turn around and up at the edge of the cottage, you see sitting on a rocking chair an old woman, just rocking back and forth, looking out at you all. And you notice something odd about her. She seems to have her right eye wider than what you can normally make an eye, and it has an orangish yellowish glow to it. And she's just sitting there looking at you all as you all make your way.
I feel like this crow up there, this old lady, is not what she looks like. I feel like we should be on guard.
I scared the bejesus out of me. I didn't even... See, I thought I heard something. I thought it was the wind.
So she scared me, so I'm gonna cast a false life on myself.
Okay.
Give myself some extra hit points.
Oh,
I can
ladies.
do that at will. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. I rolled a 1 again.
Oh my god.
So that's 5 extra hit points for
That's
now.
some luck.
Fucking hell.
Should we go talk to her, do you reckon?
I believe she's probably connected to this, but just be aware of that creature we saw.
Does her frame look at all familiar, like to that silhouette that I saw earlier? Or is it hard to tell?
It's hard to tell, but I'd say make an intelligence check. You got good perception. We'll see if
I don't have good intelligence. I have good wisdom. It's very different.
I misunderstood. I thought it was like a giant-sized creature walking behind the rocks. Sorry.
No, it was large, but about human size, like a very large human.
It's a straight 17 for intelligence.
17. Okay. From what you can see, no, very different frame. The figure up on the rocks look large, looming, daunting, whereas she looks maybe 5'2", 5'3", and a little bit on the pudgier side as she's just sitting there, hands on across her chest, sort of like that, and just rocking back and forth. She looks like a pretty run-of-the-mill old lady.
Just a random question. Is she kind of like rugged up for the weather? Or is she just wearing like normal? Because I would imagine that we're wearing, well, at least I would be wearing like a cloak or like.
She's not quite as rugged as you'd expect for this area, but she does have like she's got a little shawl over her, and she's got like long long dress and a long sleeve shirt and blouse and that sort of thing. And she has what looks to be almost like a head wrap that goes around her head and goes around her hair as it drips back over the back of the chair. Yeah.
She's definitely looking at us. And I'll just kind of.
Yeah.
Should we go talk to her, do you reckon? I mean, if she lives here, then she may have either been what happened to these children or seen what happened to these children. So.
Be on guard, everyone.
Okay, let's go talk to her.
Old ladies.
Kind of like walk up, not kind of like menacingly or anything. I'll just kind of like.
You make your way over, raise your hand, and you see as she sort of leans forward, she's got her left eye closed and her right eye very wide. And again, you see this dim sort of orangish, yellowish glow from a pupilless, irisless eye as she leans forward. Sort of goes, hello. I see you found my garden, met my children. How are you? And she leans back in the chair, and as she leans back, you see as the part of her blouse that was sort of scrunched forward in that, she reveals what looks to be a small stone baby in her hands as she's holding it and just rocking back and forth.
You monster.
Oh my god, she's absolutely mental.
It's just my children, looking after them, keeping them safe.
So you turned them to stone.
Unfortunately, I figured it's the safest way.
But they looked like some of them lost their head and cracked the skull right open.
He does that sometimes. Doesn't like... the beast of the mountain. Doesn't like we taking the children from him. They say he eats children.
It eats children?
No, it's its children. Well, it may. I don't know. I don't see the children come out when he gets away with them. I stop them, yes. I get the attention of the children. Turn them to stone, I figure. Keeps them safe, stone solid. But that thing's more solid. You see as a little goat wanders out from behind the cabin. Oh, don't mind them. There's plenty around. They seem to like me. Come say hello often. Make a good stew.
Right.
So did you turn these children to stone, or did he do that?
No, that was my doing. Keeping them safe.
Were they alive when you did that?
Of course. You notice the one there, I fear that's the one I'll have the most trouble with. You can see the brain. It sort of holds them in place, maintains them, keeps them alive. Come, children, say hello. And you turn around and notice all the statues are now facing you.
I literally.
I think it's time for you to drop the spell. We're here to take the children to a safe
No,
warm
wait,
place.
Tacumba, wait.
Tacumba!
No, I can't drop the spell, don't worry. Got to find someone who can. I can only save them to this point. Someone else has to free the rest of them.
I pointedly look away from the children, like
Which of them?
I didn't quite catch your name, ma'am.
I'm Fifth Della.
Della, that's a beautiful name.
Thank you. Given to me by my father, the righteous bastard he was.
Oh right. So this beast of the mountain that you speak of, I believe that we're chasing him. Whatever it is.
Is that right? You're on its trail.
We come from a few days to the west from here. We've been sent to find what's causing these children to go missing.
Aye. Well, you'll find it here. She sort of turns and ushers her head towards further up the slope, and you see a large cavern opening that was somewhat hidden by the cabin. A cavern opening that was somewhat hidden by the cabin as you guys were approaching it. He tends to take the children in there, and if I spot him on the way, I stop him. Well, I turn the children to stone, and then he usually tosses them to me. That's how some of these get broken. Others is because in frustration, he does things to them.
Can I ask, why do you stay here? I mean, if this beast is so close.
It's a long story, but this is my home. This is where I'm situated. The people like you, the people like all of you, back in the town, they don't like me. They didn't like me, so I found my own home. I made my way here. Had to make a deal with the Grand Hag herself, Baba Yaga. So I got this eye. And she touches it, and you see the edge of it cut open from her fingernail. And as she pulls her hand away, a small trickle of blood runs down her cheek as it seals itself back shut.
Oh, aye, that's
It's the closest thing I can do to cry anymore.
Right, I think maybe it's time we have a little conversation just between the three of us, if that is okay with you, young lady.
Is Baba Yaga a common... would we know who Baba Yaga was?
You would to an extent. I'd say make an intelligence or a history check to see to what extent.
14.
Okay. Baba Yaga is the oldest of hags in this world. She originates from the Feywild. She's ancient, and she rivals some gods in power. And her main goal in life is that she is sworn to take out her sister, Befana, who is the head witch of this world. Which witches are different to hags. Witches are generally a force of chaotic good in Ari, whereas hags more evil. Yeah.
And would our churches be aligned with the witches?
With the witches, not really. Due to their chaotic nature, they're very unpredictable, and they can sometimes be somewhat selfish. So due to that nature, the church does not fully deny them, but generally avoids them.
And the hags, would we be anti the hags?
Hags are considered one of the most dangerous of creatures. by the church. Yeah.
Okay.
So she's basically aligned with the hags.
She seems to have made a deal with the hag, from what she said. Yeah. Not a hag, the hag, basically. But yeah. You see as she's sort of rocking back and forth, you notice her breathing has gotten a little more sporadic in that. And you see her grip on the child has become a little bit tighter.
What? Dearie, why doesn't the beast just get you?
It only likes the flesh of the innocent. I'm not so innocent. The act of saving these children alone in the god's eyes is not innocent. Those vile fucking creatures of the sky. I don't trust any of them. Don't trust any associated with them.
Right, well, good thing we're not then, right?
Come now, missy, I can see his armor. The one there, as she looks over towards Bardwin.
Right.
I'm getting a little frustrated, and it's best you move on before I get angry. It's something I can't control, laddie. It's something with the eye. It allows me to see you, but I don't like what I'm seeing.
Right. Well, thank you for your time. And we'll go and hunt the beast of the mountain. And stop him from taking more children.
Okay, good to hear. I think the children want to play first, though. As you sort of take a half step backwards and bump into a statue that is seemingly pulled up right behind you. And you turn, and you guys see in a crescent moon behind you, the statues have aligned, all 9 of them, creating sort of a ball behind you.
Right. I'm not very good at playing games with children. I can be a little bit rough.
They're made of stone, sweetie. They can take it. And I need you all to roll initiative.
Well, shit. Seems our adventurers have found themselves in a bit of a situation. And they're not faring just the weather. Although it is nippy, so I went and got myself a bit of warmth. It's not actually cold where I am, it's really warm, but you know I'm playing with the jerk. Anywho, yeah, want to thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Before we do jump off, I do want to give a quick shout out to Daii, Daii, for their amazing work on the character art. Go check them out at Daii Art, that's Daiiiart, on Twitter. They've got some awesome work there, and I mean, if you look at, we've got Tukumbwa, we've got Sarathiel, and we've got Bardon that all just look amazing. Probably chuck up some of the art again throughout this break so you can see how incredible they are. And yeah, big thanks to them, and big thanks to Syrinscape as well for the incredible sort of sound effects and music that's playing throughout the story as we're going. All those sounds of wind and creepy children like giggles and the like. Yeah, thanks Syrinscape. But yes, we will return shortly as we jump straight back in with some initiative and see how they handle the challenge they've got ahead of them. Also, have you all figured out yet what the beast of the Ice Lung is? Yet? Give it a think. See you shortly. All right. Hope you had a good break. We are about to jump in again. We'll see how our adventuring party fares against this seemingly normal old lady. She's definitely not normal. Definitely not a regular old lady. But, yeah, last we left them, they were rolling initiative for combat, so we'll just transition right on in there and see how they go.
Thing.
Anybody get above a 20?
I got 20 exactly.
20 exactly. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Checking the spelling of your character's name. You know what? Control C. Control V.
Tokumva.
There we go. Okay. 10 to 20?
Oh, that's the... sorry. This, you have resistance to damage from spells and can't be frightened.
Okay, there you go. No one got a 10 to 20?
Nope.
Oh shit. Okay, 1 to 10?
6.
6, okay.
Bye.
The scary thing, to be fair.
Do temporary hit points stack? They don't, do they?
No. Anytime you gain new temporary hit points, it either replaces the previous ones or you cancel. You don't take them. One of the two.
Right.
Sarathiel's still
okay.
just like catching her breath.
Yep, fair. That's their AC and their health. Boom.
You don't need any of that.
AC, health, that's for fools. Okay. So, top of the round. As you sort of see all this going on and you turn, you feel that bump of the child somewhat behind you. You notice that they are directly behind Barden. And suddenly, the three in the middle move towards you. You notice that their steps are not like regular sort of steps. They're these quick snapping motions, just as you see cracks in their stone appear on the outside. And these minor cracks very quickly heal back up again as they move over to you. The first thing that's going to happen is the child in the middle, who is the two together with the split head, sort of looks over at you and the mouth just opens. I need all three of you to make wisdom saving throws.
+4?
I was going to say +4. You guys are all within 10 feet.
Wisdom.
23.
Woo!
2 19s and 2 1s.
I'm not going to fail a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, gotta be rough to get you guys of those.
19.
Natural 20. Which for
Okay.
31.
You all...
31?
For a 31.
That-
Natural 20 plus 4 plus a 7 is a 31.
Yeah, Jesus.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
cool.
Jesus loves you.
Note to self, future high-level things, ramp up DC. No,
You don't really need to, but yeah.
yeah, no, it's fine. Trust me, it's okay. I'll do it. No, but okay. So as this happens, you all see what's going on there, and you realize this is not a moment of fear. This is not a moment to be shaken. And while there is something almost otherworldly about the way their face moved and the shriek came across, you manage to brace yourself against it, and you resist the effect of whatever happened from that individual. However, the two next to them, sort of move forward, and they're going to attack. So the first one is going to attack against Barden.
No.
That is a 14 to hit.
No.
And their second attack, even lower. Then the other is going to attack... who's on the right side there? We have Takumbwa. Oh, that's a bit better. That's a 19 to hit.
Hits. I don't want to use my shield for this.
Okay, and the other one's a big miss for sure. It's only an 8. So, you take
6 points of bludgeoning damage as one of them shifts and moves over to you, and suddenly, like a snap, almost teleportation quick, they just slam their shoulder into you, and then their body turns back, and you see this quick trail of snow and dust sort of falling off them as they snap back and look up at you. They're sort of like stone bodies creaking and twisting. That's their round. Next, we have Takumbwa.
I'll turn around slowly while looking at this creepy fucking child. Look at the old lady and say, Yoshivich, let's go. Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. All right, go for it.
3 Eldritch Blasts. Ooh, that's 2 natural 20s and a 9.
Fucking hell. Okay.
What? Oh my god, so I'm guessing that the 9 doesn't hit. What do I have actually to hit it? What the fuck? That's a crazy hit. Crazy shot.
I was going to say, depends on your bonus.
Plus 8, so that's...
Oh shit, that's a 17? Yeah?
Yeah, 17.
All 3 hit. Go for it.
Holy shitballs. So, I'll take the one that's not crit, so that's 5 points of force damage for the first one.
Okay.
And the other 2 are... $28 for the second one. And the third one.
Okay, so 5 and 28.
28.
So total of 33
Yes.
force damage. Okay, sweet,
And
sweet.
she gets pushed back 10 feet.
10 feet. Okay.
And I think that's per actual hit. Unless I'm
Yeah.
mistaken. So that's 30 feet back. Or until she hits
Okay.
something.
You see as she... You unleash these blasts from your wrists, and as they fly out, they slam into her chest, and she's still technically sitting on a rocking chair. As she flies backwards out of it, the rocking chair shooting out from underneath her, she slams into the wall behind her, and as she stumbles forward, another blast hits her in the chest, and again, boom, 3 times, just poof, poof, poof. It's like she's between a rock and a hard place. She's just bouncing back and forth. With
Big
each of
fun.
those impacts, because she had a solid wall behind her and it was force damage, I'll say add an additional d4 damage to each hit.
Nice. Oof. That's 11.
Damn.
Jeez.
All right.
Finally, I get to roll some damage.
Yeah. So you
And
see
then-
as she's bouncing back and forth in that, and she stumbles forward, and she looks down as you see the broken body of the baby that was in her hands laid upon the floor. And she looks up at you, and as she does, you see the wraps on her head begin to fall loose, and suddenly these 4 massive python heads pull up and look around towards you. And she goes, "Maybe you should join my garden." And she opens her other eye, and as she does, because it is her time in initiative,
Oh, no, I did
yep.
them.
Why would you attack the big bad first up before we took care of the ads?
Well, my logic was that if we kill her, maybe that breaks the spell. If we kill them, we can't unbreak them.
we'll find out, I guess.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah, you just see her open her eye and look towards you. The other eye, as soon as it opens, you see it looks as though it is coated in stone, and suddenly the eyelid and the eyebrow and everything looks like it has a thin layer of stone begin to grow over it. And it sort of stops like a partial mask over the side of her face.
She got cataracts.
She got something.
She got pink eye. Too much time with the goat.
You see as she sort of reaches behind her and pulls out from the side of her dress a short sword as she makes her way over towards you, Takumbwe. Not happy. And she is going to
Come at me.
take 2 strikes at you.
Right.
First one is a 24 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. Second one is much worse, a 7. So that's a miss.
Okay.
And You know what? Let's deal with that first. So that is... oh, not much. You take 3 points of piercing damage as she goes to take these swings at you. Because you can see her body doesn't quite move as smoothly as the rest of you.
Right.
So
I have a reaction to that.
Okay, go for it.
Hellish Rebuke on 6th level.
Hey, okay, cool. So she's got to roll a save for that, right? A dex save, I think, or something like that, or is it just straight?
Dexterity save or half. Yeah, dexterity save for half.
Okay.
And I have a 14 in my thing.
That's a 4.
16.
She rolled a 4, so you got it.
Damn.
Oh, of course
Yeah,
I have
go
a
for it.
reaction. I'll spin around with my shield and raise my shield, and try and interrupt the
Okay.
attack.
Can that be done?
That
I
has
think
to
that
be-
can only be done with ranged attacks, right?
No, that's my
Oh,
that's
you've
my
got a-
shield. I've
okay.
actually got a paladin ability that
But
lets
she doesn't hit me.
There's that paladin ability that lets me reduce the damage.
But if she doesn't hit me, I can't do mine.
I was going to say, so because there's a chain where...
No, it doesn't. It doesn't stop
Oh, okay,
a hit.
okay.
That's what I was just checking. I was just reading. So the hit still hits. I'm reducing the
Okay,
damage
fuck yeah,
that
cool.
the hit
Okay.
does.
So I did 34 points of damage.
34, goddamn.
and the damage is reduced by 1 plus 5 damage.
Okay.
So reduced.
Technically, I
don't think you took damage, right? You only took
I-
3
I-
piercing
I
from
took-
that, so...
Didn't take any
took
damage. How
3.
much damage did you
Yeah.
take? Oh yeah.
boom.
Okay.
I mean that's.
No,
I wouldn't
100%,
have
you
known
just see a
that, so-
sword going for him.
I would have. That's what the character would have been like. Nah.
Okay. So you see as suddenly she pulls the sword back with the shield hitting it to the side, not being able to drive it as far as she was hoping. Suddenly these flames begin to spark up beneath her feet, and this massive plume of fire erupts in front of her as she stumbles backwards a few steps before stumbling back into her place as the fire dies down, and you see her clothes singed, her face burnt, and she looks quite frustrated and angry.
I'm sorry. Were you trying something?
And at that moment, the snake head on the one side whips out towards Sarathiel.
Had to lure her over here. I need you.
That is a 14, which I'm betting doesn't hit.
Armor class 16.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So once we have high armor, I like this. Yeah.
High levels, high levels.
Just kind of like duck out of the way, and it comes like right towards my face.
Snaps over your head, pulls back. At this moment, you suddenly hear the sounds of clicking of stones as behind you, Tukumbwa, you see the group of children
I don't have any ice cream. Go
all
away.
run over as one of them again turns and sort of you see their jaw almost snap partly off and their eyes widen before snapping back up. I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw again.
Oh boy.
You're
Still
all within
+4?
range, so you all get the bonuses. Yep.
I'm gonna use my extra D10 because I'm gonna get fucked now.
Oh my god, that's actually really good.
11.
Okay.
Oofed. 20.
Okay.
Actually, wait, no. How much did you say? Wisdom save?
Wisdom save, correct.
Oh, I have +6, so 17.
Okay. Cool.
I forgot to add that last time. I just rolled really well.
And Sarathiel?
I'm not great with the math. So 9 plus 7 plus 4, that's an 11, so that'll be a dirty 20.
20, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was calculating. I was like 9 to a 20. Does that?
You sort of see this child doing this, and you just sort of like almost grit your teeth back at it type thing, stern, like hold your face stern, as you all sort of like see this child and just keep strong. No effect. The other two then are going to attack our good half-orc friend, Tukumbwa, with a 16.
Nope.
And a 5.
Nope.
That's the first one miss, and the second child attacks an 11 and a 9. You just swing, and with one swipe of your hand, you just knock any swings coming your way backwards. You see little slithers of stone coming off. Not a lot, but okay, shit. At that moment, from the other side,
It's the goat, isn't it? Oh, no.
the children from the other side make their way over. Weirdly, perfectly box formation, but you know.
Have
And
fun,
I'm going
guys.
to need
Bye.
one more wisdom saving throw from each of you as the last one attempts
Shit.
this ability.
Oh boy, this is bad. So
Swan on
that's
Swan's sake.
12.
Okay,
23.
23. Was that a 22 or was that a 2?
22.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, okay. Okay, finally got one. Okay. As that happens, you sort of turn to Kumbwe and look at the other side, and there's one already in that sort of pose that you're not expecting it. The other two, you guys turned your vision away from the first one screaming at you and saw this and managed to sort of again brace yourselves and turn away. Tukumbwa, you feel this surge of energy pulse through your mind. And from everyone else's perspective, you see a slight purpley shimmer over his eyes.
Oh no.
You are stunned until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
And for the next minute, all melee attacks made against any stone children are done so with disadvantage.
Okay.
You can repeat repeat your saving throw at the end of each of your turns, though.
Right.
Okay. And then the other two attempt to attack. Both are going to attack Barden. I'm just going to roll both attacks at once to make it easy. A 5 and an 18.
And 18 will
Okay.
hit.
We have one hit. And hot trash and even worse. Cool. All right, so you take a whopping 2 bludgeoning damage as one of them just pops you in the side of the knee, and you feel your knee buckle slightly. Cool. We then move over to Sarathiel.
All right. I can. Okay, yeah, that's fine. As my action, I'm going to invoke duplicity.
Okay.
So as I
Ooh.
kind of just like.
Sorry. Point of note. Before you do so,
All right.
I nearly forgot one more thing. Yep.
Counterspell. Counterspell.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Me?
No,
I-
Sarathiel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Constitution saving throw. I think.
The damage we're taking from these guys isn't magical, is it? It's just bludgeoning damage.
Yes,
They're
correct.
magical, but we're taking normal damage.
Ooh, fuck! That's only a 14.
14. That's exactly what you needed to pass.
Fuck.
Alrighty, go for it.
Right, so as my action, I'm going to invoke duplicity. So she's kind of standing there. You can kind of see her as her eyes go wide and all these children start forming around her. She just starts to like shake and shimmer, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like, you know, when cells split and there's
Yep.
just like 2 of her, and they kind of like just look at each other, and then she goes, "Gods, please help me!" And she'll lift her arms up to the sky, and around her there's like this dark kind of grey mist that starts forming shapes around her as they kind of like pop up, and she's going to, as a bonus action, she's going to cast Spirit Shroud, as all these like ghostly figures start kind of like swarming
Okay.
around her.
Hell yeah.
Spooky.
That's an area of effect spell, right?
Yeah, sorry, just let me pull it up again real quickly.
That's all good.
So Spirit Shroud. book. Where is it? No, that's not it. That's Speak with the Dead. Don't need that right now. Alright. Call forth the spirits of the dead. Until the spell ends, any attacks you make deal an extra d8 damage when you hit a creature within 10 feet of you. In addition, any creature of your choice that you can see that starts its turn within 10 feet of you has its speed reduced by 10 points and by 10 feet until the start of your next turn.
Holy shit. Okay. I'm going to mark you with a little yellow marker. You know what? Let's make it pink, a little more visible.
Yellow for
and
peeing yourself.
And a red marker for your duplicate, so we know that's the case. So within 10 feet of you, that's a lot. That is
1, 2, 3. There should be 4 of them, I think.
that's all of them. You are smack in the center. Every single one is affected by that. Nicely done. All right. Fuck yeah. So your figure bursts out and these spirits start to shroud around you. And you see as the children almost look at them with a look of curiosity before returning their attention to you. All right. Anything else you wish to do on your turn?
I'm just thinking, Invoke Duplicity doesn't actually... All I can do is cast spells out of it, right?
And I think if it is within 5 feet of you, I think you get like a bonus to your AC, or it becomes more difficult to hit you, something like that.
I get advantage on any attacks if my Duplicity is within 5 feet of me. But I think if I try to move, I don't think that they'll be like confused by her because they saw me cast her.
Okay.
So I am going to stay where I am and just go.
Sweet.
Well done.
You had to draw her ire, didn't you? And that's it.
Perfect. I love it.
I'll just look at my duplicate, just like...
I know.
She agrees with me.
Yeah. Alrighty. From there, we switch over to Barden. Barden, at the beginning of your turn, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw is Squizillion. 27.
No dramas. Whatever happens, it ain't happening.
If you want to catch this dwarf, it better be dexterity. Okay. Can I reach the evil lady dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not where you're standing right now. I'd say
I've got a lance, but I'm not
with your
moving.
lance, normally I'd say yes, but because you've got people between you, I would say you can attempt, but you would have a higher AC.
Nah, I'm going to
Skewer me.
I'm going to cast. Here's an interesting one that I'm sure has been all over the internet at some point, but maybe it hasn't. So I'm going to ask you a different
Go for
question, DM. I'm going to cast. What's the name of the spell that I'm casting? Misty Step?
Yep.
I'm going to Misty Step with myself and my boar 30 feet up into the air above her.
Ooh. Okay. So you can absolutely go up into the air. I would
Down's gonna be
say...
the hard part.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the boar, because I believe Misty Step specifies you can move. I think Dimension...
Yeah, and my Find Steed spell impacts my boar. Like, I can make any spell that... my paladin skill is I can make any spell that affects me affect the boar, as long as I'm the only target.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is a paladin ability.
Should cost
No,
the
it's a Find Steed. It's part of the Find Steed ability, Find Speed spell. That any spell that just targets me, I think it's specifically designed to do this. Like if I Misty Step, I can Misty Step as long as with my.
So enlarge and haste.
But mind you, I'll do it regardless of
Whether-
if the boar stays behind. I'm also happy for that. That will also work. Doesn't change my action at all. But it is worth thinking about.
Just checking the exact wording.
Yeah.
The next time we're going to do this, we're going to cast haste and then enlarge on you.
It's called the bull bomb.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? Yeah, it's a little open-ended, I'd say, the wording, but yeah, you can make any spell you cast that targets only you. Oh, also, okay, I skipped past that word. Yeah, absolutely, you can do it for sure. Go for it. Which, good point.
Okay.
You know what? I don't have a boar. We are going to instead give you a big goat as
Another
a
goat.
temporary thing on the screen, which
Oh,
we'll
the
fix
big
in
goat.
post. Okay, so you bring this thing up into the sky. You atop it.
Lance out. Like I'm frustrated. I wheel around with all the things, and I realize that I can't stab the lady, and then I misty step,
Yep,
and with my lance, it's just like
downward facing. Your pig ready. Inhales.
yeah,
alrighty.
boring thing. It just becomes a giant bomb.
So you go 30 feet up, right? You got 30 feet with the Misty Step.
Yeah, maybe say 20. Say because I'm going diagonally. Like say it's like 20 feet up, 25, 20 to 25 feet up.
Okay. And whereabouts would you like to sort of
Directly
hover?
down on her head.
On her head. Okay.
On her
I'm
head. Like I'm going to come down.
Attempting to miss your allies.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
It took
I'm
way
gonna-
for long for you to plan, so yeah, go.
Yeah, I guess.
Will there be
Okay.
an area? Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I didn't think there'd be an area effect of a thing falling from the sky.
Purely because of the size of the wild boar, because it would technically be a large creature.
Oh yeah, sweet.
I would say it would hit 4 squares. So in the way that you can position it to hit a stone child and her, or you can go to her and Sarathiel's duplicate.
No, yeah, I'll go stone. Oh, am I trying to hit the stone children yet? No, I'm not smart enough to do it. So I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'll do that one. Do that way, the way that you've got it now.
Okay, go for it.
And if I
Make it.
roll poorly, then I can hit Takumba.
Okay, I'm gonna say make an attack roll, and we're gonna add a d6 of damage if you hit.
Yep.
And
I'll take that same damage.
I was going to say, however, there is a chance that because your boar's beneath you, they would take the brunt of the hit. There is a chance they'll take some damage too.
Oh yeah, cool.
We're gonna
I'm figuring I'm going to take falling damage because I'm falling 20 feet.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
We'll do the attack first, and we'll work out the rest as we go. We'll see how well and smooth the attack goes.
Okay. Yo.
This one's warm.
First attack is not very good at all.
Straight through the chimney into Christmas episode.
An 11 to hit.
11. You aim your lance down and you fly downward, and you see as she just almost stumbles over backwards as she notices a shadow suddenly loom over her. And she stumbles to the side and looks up and sees you as your lance slams into the ground next to her, unfortunately missing. However,
Can I roll the boar to hit?
I was going to say, so make an attack with your boar, and I'm going to make dex saves for them to see, regardless they're taking some damage from this boar impact.
Yeah.
We're going to see how much.
The boar has a 24 to hit.
Yep, cool. Roll that damage, and add a d6 to the damage.
And a d6.
That's a lot of damage from a bot.
Well, yeah. Usually it's like 1d6 damage, I think, per 10 feet above 20 feet from fall. So I'm like, we'll chuck it into the damage.
Yeah. So it is 1, 2. 25 damage.
25 damage. Okay. That brings that to... Okay. And then...
She did.
do you know what you rolled in that d6? Do you recall?
Oh, the individual one.
Yeah.
Nah, there was lots of
That's
The
okay.
fives, though. So
I'll roll another
5 would be a
D6.
fair number.
If there were lots of fives, sure, we'll say 5 damage. Yeah. Your boar can make a dexterity check to see if it halves the damage.
20, well, yeah, really high. 21.
20 something, easy. Yep, so you only take 3 points of bludgeoning damage to your boar, and the others take an additional 3 as well, because they both made their saves to them. So one of the stone children you see sort of like get a big crack in the shoulder, and it sort of somewhat re-clicks back into place.
Cool.
All right.
Can I take my second attack as a
Absolutely.
attack? So I'm gonna swing with my. I think I'll stand up with my warhammer
Yeah.
and not hit anything. 9.
9, no. So as you release the lance that's stabbed into the ground, you know it'll be ready for you if you need it. You reach over, grab your warhammer, and take a sweeping swing. And as you do, before you get much momentum, you suddenly feel a snake head sort of wrap around your forearm and twist you, trying to get you to drop it. You smack it with your other arm, getting it to release you, but unfortunately your swing is lost in that moment.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Where am I now?
You are on your boar for the.
I'm out on that.
Can
Yeah,
I
yeah.
to front?
Yeah, great.
I'll do that for the sake of.
I feel like Jacob is summoning a demon. That's what this looks like.
I might. Nah, can I run? I want to run. 25 feet away.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
turn and charge.
Okay, on the back of your boar.
Next turn with the intention to turn and charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the back of the boar.
Okay.
Even
so
if that
1,
promotes
2,
an opportunity
3.
attack, I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you get up to there. You do get an opportunity attack as she swings backwards with her sword and misses completely. Fucking natural 6. God damn. This old lady's rolling like shit. Okay. Sweet. We move back to the top of the round. And the first group of stone children suddenly sort of click and snap, and one of them moves closer over on this side as 2 of them are again to attempt to attack Sarathiel. That's 2 13s, which I don't think hit.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
The other is going to attack Thekumbwa. Even worse. So cool. Just these kids just throwing fists.
Just holding them back by the head.
Yeah, basically. It's
Come on, stop
like,
that.
It's creepy, but at the same time, they don't have much mobility. There's not much they can do. Means of damage. But at that moment, Takumbwa, it is your turn.
Right.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at the beginning of your turn.
Wasn't it at the end of my turn?
No, at the beginning.
Okay. Constitution, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Do I still have plus something? From,
no, you do not.
No, I've run away.
So that's a 12.
That's a 12. Okay. As all this goes on, you see the lady sort of swing down and move out the way, and her snake head grabs onto the warhammer. This catches your eye, and you move your eyes there and then follow it back to her as you see her sort of stone-encrusted eye peering right into yours. Okay. You suddenly feel your bones begin to stiffen.
Great.
And you feel with every little movement, there's almost a grinding of your bones inside. Cool. That's it for now.
For now. Alright, so I can obviously feel she did something to me.
Mm-hmm.
Was that with her spell she cast on me, or was that just an effect?
Seems to be just an effect.
Okay, cool. Alright, I realized that I'm most likely fucked, so I'm trying to get the best of this situation. I'm going to slightly sidestep a little bit without moving into Sarah's space.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna whisper, see if you can hit her, because I might not have a lot of time left. And I'm gonna point at her, and I'm going to just try to frame her space, and then fire 3 more Eldritch Blast to push her towards where what is Jacob's character's name again? Where Baden?
You actually Bruno from your perspective.
Is. So I'm going to try to attack her 3 times with 3 Eldritch Blasts.
Okay.
Boom, boom.
Now, I think because you are in point blank, they are done at disadvantage because they're ranged attacks.
I don't think so because they're spells.
If it's a spell attack, I think it still is. Make a ranged spell attack, yeah. So because it's still technically an attack, I would say it would be done at disadvantage, technically.
Right, that's cool.
Cool.
Okay, so first I'm gonna do one at a time because then it's gonna be less dice. Alright, so first one, disadvantage is 2. Second one is a 4. And third one is a 2. So that's no.
Okay.
3 misses.
So unfortunately, you sort of put out your hands to unleash, and the energy starts swirling up. And at that moment, 2 of the heads come wrap themselves around your forearms and lift your arms upwards as the energy unleashes upward into the sky. And the spell used, you sort of look at these heads as they release you, and you feel a difficulty pulling your arms back down.
Great.
Anything else you wish to do on your turn?
So I don't think I have any bonus actions. Can't use this one, can I? No, because I am locked into combat. So no, I am just gonna stand there and look pretty.
Okay. At the end of your turn, we suddenly see as a town surrounds you all. A small town. And you stand before a small building with a little outcrop that specifies the blessed drink. As you see an individual standing outside, an older woman, sort of old, sort of frizzled black hair, outward and wild. She looks at you all and she goes, I am so thankful you've come to retrieve your gifts. They will be of great aid to you. And she hands you each a healing potion. She turns and she sort of looks behind her and she goes, these are my specialties, and I've been informed to give you a discount of sort. Is there anything particular you're after?
Like a nuclear warhead at this point.
You don't happen to have a potion that, just in case we come across one that turns us to stone, something that can reverse the effects. I just had a vision.
Potion of anti-petrification.
How about like where you get it, but then you throw it back at her, so she becomes petrified?
Me? No,
not
I don't
you.
like that. Well, I don't have anything of that sort, but I do have something that can help with petrification.
Yes, please.
If it's applied to the skin of an individual who's petrified within a minute of them turning, it can reverse the effects. It costs 3,500 gold, though, even with the discount. Have you got that on your persons? Would you like to purchase it?
1250.
Yeah, no, I don't have quite that much.
Is there anything else that you would take as money?
But what are you talking about, dears? Between us, we'll have 3,500 gold.
It's up to you. I've got other potions if you prefer.
Oh, boys.
Do we get a discount if we buy more than one?
I think she's already given us a discount.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I would love one, but I don't have 3,000 at the moment.
So did we already get those healing potions or not?
Yes, yeah.
We did. Just one
Yeah.
each?
Yep. One
Right.
standard healing potion each.
Right. I used some of my money earlier to buy a
Hey,
couple.
laddie.
Just
Okay.
as an FYI.
Cool. Yeah.
I bought 2.
Hey, laddie. Well, you said you've got 1,200. What about you, lassie? Have you got 1,200 too?
I think I've got about... Fuck, how much have I got? I got 1,600.
Well, if the young man puts in 1,200 and you put in 1,200 and I put in 1,200, then we'll have 3,500.
That's 3,600.
He's good at maths, isn't he?
I'm just
More than you'll
thinking
need.
it's a lot of money for a potion that we might not even need.
Is this happening in real? Is this happening?
This is a flashback.
Okay.
Oh, it's a flashback.
I wouldn't have said that as a conversation. I would be like, nah, whatever, we're not gonna need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She sort of looks at you all
Yeah.
and goes, you don't want anything else? I can give you more health potions. Perhaps you'd like to become invisible temporarily. Or the ability to fly.
I already got that one.
The ability to fly sounds fun. I can turn myself invisible, but you know.
I can make you fly if we need to. But if you want a potion, of course, go get a potion. What about a potion that will restore your magical capabilities?
Oh, don't have anything ready for that. I could get something perhaps when you return, but it'll be a whopping 25,000.
Right.
You can
And
just
that's only
sleep.
for the first couple. The higher level abilities wouldn't quite restore for that. That would take me months to make.
Well, I don't think I need anything. But if any of you need anything, I will be more than happy to share.
How much is that flying potion that you got?
A flying potion is one of the cheaper. It's sitting at 800 gold.
Right. Could be a spot of fun. I'll take that one.
Perfect. She sort of turns around and grabs out a little potion vial, sort of stands it up, almost knocks it over, but catches it, slides it across to you. Simple 800. Thank you.
Slide that across.
Anything else?
Well, young lady. We're going to find some sort of criminal that is taking these children. So I was wondering if you had something like magical manacles to bind.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't have anything like that. I simply do potions. I might have a cloak, an old cloak I'd be willing to sell. Make you a little harder to hit, but that's about it.
A little harder to hit. Well, how much for the cloak that makes me harder to hit?
That one.
I'm pretty hard to hit as it is.
That one would be 2,000 gold.
2,000 gold. Well, I don't have enough.
Well, if you need it, my friend, I will gladly
Jacumba.
help. Yes.
Can you lend me some I need about 300 gold.
Sure, no problem, my friend. I will lend you 300.
Okay.
Sorry, DM, is it just a potion of flying?
It is just a potion of flying, yes, sorry. Okay, so you purchase the cloak? Yep. Okay.
Sure.
Alrighty. She hands you over what is a cloak of protection, which should also be on D&D Beyond. Adds +1 bonus to AC and saving throws while you wear the cloak. Just because, you needed a bonus to your saving throws. Okay.
Well,
And
at least we know one of us won't die.
At that moment, the snow begins to batter across your face as your memory returns to the moment that you're in. And we continue off at her turn.
Did I still need to make a roll at the end of my turn?
No.
So
Good
it was
question.
both a
Let me double
Constitution and a Wisdom save. I failed, I think.
check.
One was whatever
Right,
happened
yes.
to my eyes.
Correct. Yeah. So the wisdom save, yes, you do get to make a roll.
So
Technically, yeah, you were supposed to be stunned that round, but whatever, you missed. So
Oh,
we'll say
sorry.
nothing. No, that's okay. I forgot completely. So it's
So
my
it's
fault there.
18 on the Wisdom save.
Okay, perfect. So at that moment, you sort of snap out of whatever this fear, this repeated visage of this screaming child in your mind was, and you sort of return back to the moment, realizing that you sort of missed in that moment and pull your arms down, being a little bit on the more painful side. You do get to make another saving throw for this one too, so you get to make another Constitution save as well.
No pluses on that.
Nothing from your
No,
Power
that's another
wisdom.
11.
It's another 11. No luck. You begin to feel sort of the edges of your shoulders crust over a little bit, and your movements slow even further. For the purposes of this, you are considered grappled. So basically, your movements just drop to 0.
Right.
Okay. Thifdella, sort of seeing all this going on, you see as she pulls her arm back, and suddenly black smoke begins to whirl around her forearm, and tiny little embers begin to float as she slams her hand forward towards you, Sarathiel.
Does that
and
look
she
like
goes-
a spell I know?
Make an Arcana check.
Because I still have a reaction, I think. Oh, do I have a reaction if I'm grappled?
Yeah. I don't believe there's anything countering that for that.
15.
I think it's just 15. Okay. You recognize this. This is a spell that only exists in my homebrew world. This is called Smoke and Embers. Smoke and Embers is... I'll pull it up through here. It is a cantrip.
Okay.
And it has the potential to blind someone temporarily.
I believe that she's probably capable of managing that herself. I don't think that's going to
Okay.
be my reaction. I think she's strong enough as a strong, independent woman.
And at that moment, you decide to hold back, and she slams her hand forward, and suddenly this plume of smoke and embers flies into your eyes. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, fuck. Dexterity saving throw. Oh, fuck, I actually got out of the character. Oh, fuck, that's not good. Dexterity is a plus... yeah, it's only an 8.
8. Okay. You take... it's not much. You take 5 points of fire damage, but you are blinded until the end of your next turn.
To the end of my next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm just trying to think, because I might want to take my reaction to that if
Yeah.
possible. So I have Warcaster, which means that I can use my reaction to make a spell attack as long as it just targets her. I guess it doesn't say anything about like capped levels or anything like that.
Yeah. From memory, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but Warcaster, it's more so like making an attack of opportunity.
Oh,
Like when,
yes, you're right. Opportunity attack.
yeah.
Sorry. Yep.
Cool. No, that's all good. Just wanted to check.
No, never mind. Okay. Yep. I can see.
Yep.
Sorry, I thought you
Suddenly
had
pulls
it.
back. And you see these sort of little plumes of smoke pouring out of the sides of her eyes, and these embers drifting around her for a moment as they subside.
And my duplicate also does that as well in empathy.
Yep. Okay. And that's all she's really going to do in that moment. She is going to probably take an attack of opportunity as she's going to try and run into her house. So Yeah, Takumba, you get an attack of opportunity if you want.
So that's
Full
a
round has passed.
melee attack, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, unless you've got Warcaster.
Okay, so I don't have my sword drawn at the moment, but my sword will just simply appear in my hand. And
Yep.
this greenish, blackish energy just forms this long sword that seems to be made out of letters. Just made out of arcane letters in Celestial, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a swipe.
Go for it.
But I guess I have disadvantage on that one too?
No, I don't think so, because it's... I don't think you get disadvantage on the grappled. I'll double check, but...
And he's not still stunned.
Not
No,
stunned,
no.
That was only one
but,
turn.
Powered out of that one. Grappled. Your speed becomes 0. Yep, that's it. So, regular attack.
yeah, that's still pretty bad. 8.
8. Unfortunately, as you go to take a swing, some of these smoke and embers sort of drift over your way and sort of block your view as you swing wide. Sarah, you also have an attack of opportunity as you hear footsteps pull away. It will be at disadvantage because you are blinded right now, but you are more than welcome to make one.
Just having a look really quick at what I've actually got. All my stuff's like either AoE or is like summoning something. I don't really have anything to actually attack her, so I will forego. I'm kind of like...
Yeah, totally fair. As the smoke sort of is still burning in your eyes, you decide to leave it as she's gonna 1, 2, 3, and you see her disappear into her home. For the purposes of this, I'm just putting it down in the corner there, but she vanishes into her own house. Cool. Moves over to Stone Children 2, which is the group on the right. They are all going to attempt to attack our good friend Takumba with 21.
Shield.
Okay.
So that would make it 23.
Yeah. You put your hand out as one of the fists seems to come running towards your stomach, and you sort of put your hand down. Poof, this energy of arcane sort of like symbols flares up and deflects the blow, which I believe you now have +5 AC for the rest of the round.
Yeah, I guess
Keeps
actually
lasting.
it's lasting, yeah, so that's pretty
Yeah.
good. Probably my choice.
I'm not even calling the shots that miss because they're all single-digit rolls. Nope, none of the rest of them hit you.
I feel like I'm getting beaten up enough.
There's all these fists just slamming against your arcane shield as you hold it there, off to your right. As the next group then attempt to swarm. Yeah, kind of. Let's see. They are going to do that. That one, I'm going to roll an intelligence check because even though you summoned it, there is something about them. They seem a little more animalistic. Nope. And this one is going to attempt to move to there. Cool. All right. 2 of them are going to attempt to attack. Actually, one of them is going to attempt to attack you, Sarathiel. Highest is a 15, which I'm guessing none of those hit.
I'm just flying around trying to see stuff.
Another one's going to attempt to swing one more at you, which is a 12. And the other swings are going to go towards your copy, which I don't even need a swing for. They just start swinging and going through it, and you don't see them really react to it. Cool. That's the end of them. As it comes to your turn.
Right. So here in Takumba, say to me what he did before, like, you need to hit her. I don't think I'm going to be much help much longer. I am going... no, actually, I need to say something first, DM. Sorry.
Yep.
I made a mistake before with new character, kind of not knowing what's going on.
All good.
So when you cast Invoke Duplicity, even though it's not a spell, it's just a channel divinity.
Yep.
But it says in the description that until you break concentration on it. And I cast my Spirit Shroud, which is a concentration spell. So I was wondering if I could please rescind Spirit Shroud and just lose my bonus action for that turn.
Sure. Absolutely. We'll say that happened instead, yeah. You sort of go to summon it, and as these spirits begin to form off of you, you realize partway through that this is going to maintain too much of your energy.
Sorry about that.
No, not at all.
So, as he's kind of saying that, I am going to kind of like, why? What's wrong? And I'll reach out and I kind of like slam my hand into his shoulder, and I will cast Greater Restoration on him to hopefully end one effect that has charmed or petrified the target.
Okay.
It says
You
effect.
place your hand, tink, and suddenly you feel this pulse of energy surge through you, Takumbra. And as this happens, this thin sort of purple line sort of travels across your body, and from it fly these tiny little sort of almost, they look like they're made of the very fabric of the night sky. These little butterflies sort of fly off of you with it, and suddenly the spell finishes enveloping on your other side, and you stop, and your joints feel restored. You feel no pain in them, and an ability of freedom again. Your shoulder feels fine. It's not stiffening. Yeah.
Time to deal out some kick-ass. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I will get my duplicate to move her. So I am going to move her around. Sorry, I'm just going to ping the map. If I can move her over into this square.
Absolutely. Boom. You see she just runs through the children. And they just go, like, look, almost following. Yeah.
So I'm going to, do that. And
Great.
that will be my turn, because I am support.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. Absolutely. So at the end of your turn, as this is happening, you sort of rub your eyes for a moment as you start to blink. And while they're watery and sore, you can see again. Your vision is restored. Okay, then it moves over to Barden.
Can I, looking from where at my vantage point, so I've obviously seen her run into the house.
Mm-hmm.
In this cottage, is there like windows in the cottage? Can I still see her?
There are windows. However, there are none on the side that is facing you. Yep.
Yes.
Because there is a fireplace there, you can see a large amount of it is stone, and the other side doesn't really have a window from what you can see.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, my turn's going to take longer because I had a plan for if I could see her. No, I don't have a plan now that I can't.
The house.
Because the other... Yeah, so both of my plans involve seeing. Okay, so I can't see her. So in that case, I'm going to...
Let me double check one thing.
How can I help my friends?
Because there's technically 2 stories, although the top one is sort of a roof. So I just want to make sure there's no windows on that side upstairs. No.
Oh, and it's not about upstairs. I need to see her.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could also like look through a window upstairs and get in upstairs, but I wouldn't do that.
Cool.
My main actual goal was if I could see her, then I could get her to come back out. And seeing as I can't see her anymore, I'm going to... Oh, I don't really want to hit the children, though.
Good. My plan has worked.
Moral quandaries.
Shoot the hostage.
So I've seen her run in. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna chase her. Can I charge?
Yep.
And try and get into the house.
Absolutely. What's the movement of your boar?
The boar has 40 feet.
Oh, yeah.
So actually, yeah. Oh, that's really good. Okay. So at 30 feet,
yep.
Can I get off the boar? After moving 30 feet, can I see her through the door?
So I'll say you get to there. It's up to you whether you want to continue through. In that instance, with the boar, because of the size, you'd have to push through a child, basically, or push past them. But I would say at that moment, you can just barely see into the building. And let's see with where she's standing, if you could see her. I would say...
Just to add to that, so my plan is to get the boar to run to my friends.
Yep.
and for me to, even if I take an attack of opportunity from that child, just so the boar is going to kind of occupy that middle space, and I want to just get in the doorway, so I'm going to jump off the boar to get in the doorway.
So you sort of take that there. Okay.
But and then I move up. I want to be on the other side of that child.
Yep.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you sort of, the ball comes there, you hop off. I'm going to roll a dex save for the kid.
I could attack the kid with the boar.
If you want to, by all means,
prone. Yeah, I'll attack him, because if he gets knocked prone by the boar. Okay, I'll do a boar attack. It's 14.
14. I should have written the kid's AC. Why didn't I? 14 misses.
Okay.
You see as the kid sort of like stumbles backwards, and with the dex save, I'd say they're able to get out of the way from the hit. We'll say they... You know what? They'll stumble all the way backwards. As they're falling backwards, you sort of take the spot down and they stumble even further. Cool.
Okay.
And you can see inside.
So I'm going to cast Compelled Duel.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, "Fuck you, you stupid bitch. Come here."
Okay.
I'm getting like Molly Weasley vibes when she goes after Bellatrix. Not my daughter, you bitch. Angry Mum the Bear.
I can see that.
It is a wisdom save of 16.
Wisdom save. She rolled a 15.
And it's heaps.
That's a failure. All right. So she, what's the go now? I believe she can only fight you, right?
So on a failed save, the creature is drawn to you, compelled by your divine demand. For the duration, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against any creatures other than me, and must make a wisdom save throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from me.
Okay.
So it can still run away from me. If it succeeds on the saving throw, its spell doesn't restrict the target's movement for that turn. The spell ends if I attack any other creature, if I cast a spell that targets a different creature, or if another friendly creature to me damages the target.
Okay, noted. Cool. All right. So you pass this and you see her just sort of like turn around and look at you, which thankfully she seemed to be out of sight when all this goes. But as she goes and looks, you quickly avert your eyes a little bit, knowing her one eye seems a little dangerous. But you know she is staring at you.
Not to me. But she's not within reach of me hitting her?
No. She is 5, 10. She's about 15 feet away from you in the building.
She's in the chimney.
Okay, so I'm going to throw... I'm going to throw 2 daggers at her.
Go for it.
Bang, bang.
And they... Oh, no, that one's a 14 and a 12.
14 and a 12. Oh, no, neither hit. I thought the 14 did. Unfortunately, as you go to throw this, you see all this cluttered crap in her house. There's like these little sofas and these things hanging and a little table and whatnot. And as you go to throw them, one pings off the edge of the door handle, and the other one, while following true to her, you see as she sort of just moves a little bit to the side, and it sort of clips the edge of the table near her and instead bounces past.
Kill.
I like it
though. Yeah, because I can't move. I can't use my mount to move and then use my movement. Like the mount uses.
I don't see why not. Yeah. No, you can move if you want to.
Oh well, I would move as far. I'm chasing her.
Yeah.
I'd move as close as I could.
Move up. Okay.
I'm not I'm not in any way worried about her eyes.
Noted.
I'm immune to being frightened.
Okay.
Which is not immune to being petrified, but like,
But you being unafraid.
being
Easy.
unafraid is the key part of this.
Done and done. All right, you make your way right over to her.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move you down there.
Throwing the daggers as I walk, because we'll keep that.
Yeah.
Otherwise that's it.
Normally when I play with mount combat, because like I said, one of the other parties I do have mounts, we usually
Yeah.
roll initiative for the mount. But for ease, I was just like, we'll just have your mount sort of like go on your turn.
Oh, I get it. Because then my mount could move with me on it.
Yep.
And then it would be my. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a smart way of doing it. So if. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I was just like, ease of it. We'll try flow. Go as quick and as smooth as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you, it goes over to the stone children again that are behind Sarah and Takumba. First one, 2 attacks against Takumba, which your shield is still technically up. So the highest is a 19.
Nope.
Next one, natural 1 and an 8. And the next 2 attacks are coming to you, Sarah. Which I think one actually hits with a 17.
Yikes.
Hey.
That's me.
Okay. So that is... Oh, wrong one. That's one of these. Okay, 1 bad roll, 1 good. That's 5 bludgeoning damage.
Total?
As yes, total. As you feel one of the taller ones sort of pop an elbow into the back of your lower back and just... Yep. As you're sort of regaining your sight, it's like, I can see again. Ah!
What is that?
As we move over to Kumbwa.
So I'm pretty stuck there though, and I can't see her from there. I'm guessing.
I would say you could, but for the purposes of AC, because of the size of the bore and the things in front, and yeah, I would say she'd have full cover, so +5 to AC.
But I can't see her.
But you can technically see her, yeah.
Can
And
I
amongst the
see?
movements, you get these
Wait.
glances here and there.
Wait, so Jacob went in too, right?
Yep.
It's not gonna work then.
Which, if you guys want to, bam. That is what you'd see.
So
I hate the cradle. I hate it. I hate it.
So behind the lady, there's a room there, and then there's a stairway going up. Is that correct?
It's not a closed door. It seems to just be a hallway that leads to a stairwell.
So if I shot here, can I see that far? If I the wall here,
Are you shooting at the wall? You want to shoot at the wall?
even the ceiling if I need to in that area.
I would say not really. I'd say the furthest you could see is maybe sort of the bottom left corner of this one. Just because of the angle, you'd be standing somewhere here.
Okay, let me
So
just
your
check
line
my
of sight.
Spell here. 20-foot radius.
Yeah. I'd say
I kind
you
of want
could
to
just
try
see
to
that
hit her
wedge
with a
right
20-foot radius without hitting our friend. And this is 5.
20-foot radius, you say, eh?
Don't worry about hitting me. Very strong against spells.
I'm gonna do something else though, because you're engaged in her in melee combat, right?
At this point, yeah.
Yep. And I can see her, but I have
That's
disadvantage.
You can see her. It's not disadvantage. She just has a higher AC because there's so many things blocking your view.
Okay.
So it's harder to get that clean line of sight.
Okay. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to again cast this greenish black energy and fire 3 Eldritch Blast at her. So my
Alrighty.
goal is to push her out of the melee combat to invoke an opportunity attack.
Ooh, okay. I like the thinking. However, forced movement does not invoke opportunity. So if she's forced to move, it would not invoke it.
Anyway, so I started blasting.
So it's not a blast.
I
Go for it.
forgot that crap.
Go for it.
So 3 Eldritch
Bend the hammer.
Blast. Oh, that's one natural one.
Mm-hmm.
And a 19 and a 17.
19 and 17. The other two hit. Yeah.
Right. That's 17 points of force damage as you get pushed back 20 feet.
Okay.
Or hit the wall, depending on how you want to do it.
You know what? I'm going to roll a d4 and see which way she gets pushed with each one.
Straight into the oven.
First one, straight into the wall. So add an extra... So 26 damage, you said, right?
Yeah, I think that's what's that.
Add an extra d6 of damage for the impact.
4.
Okay, 4 damage. And the other one pushes her back down the hallway. The first one hitting her on one side, she bounces off the wall. The other one hits her on the other side, and she goes flying backwards 10 feet, stumbles down. She looks up at you, Barden. She is hurt. She's real hurt.
And the spell that I had ended.
The spell that you had ended? Because someone else attacked? That's right.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
Hey, in the heat of combat,
I was just trying to help.
you do see that she is very weak. She's got sort of blood constantly trickling out of that one eye that seemingly is big and bulbous, and she looks like she might have a broken rib or two or something like that. She's not in a good place. One of the snakeheads doesn't seem to be moving. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's probably what I can do in my turn because
That's it.
I don't really have any bonus action because I can't move.
Yeah. So that's all right. As we head round, it is her turn next. No, it's all right. It is.
Wait, do I need to roll again?
No, it's been cured. You've been healed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yay!
Okay. So you see as she looks up and trembling and shaking a little bit, she looks over at you, Barden, and she goes, "I'll do all I can to stop you hurting my children." And you see 3 of the snakeheads pull up as you see this energy beginning to cycle and coil around them. The one unmoving one seemingly off to the side as they open, and 3 bolts of energy fly towards you as she casts Magic Missile. Which, good old Magic Missile, the fun of an auto hit.
Unless you have shield, apparently.
Yeah, shield's the only thing that auto
ignores it.
Well, that stops it.
Yeah.
Which is a total of
1 damage.
11 force damage. Suddenly these 3 bolts slam into you, and you sort of brace yourself a little bit. The wolf skin carpet underneath you sliding under your feet a moment. But you take it and you hold
If you're
strong.
paying close attention, you'll notice it doesn't hurt me as much as you'd expect.
There you go.
I'm not paying attention at all.
Are we rounding up or rounding down?
Round up. So
Yeah. Cool.
yeah,
6
damage is rounded up, so is saves and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
You then see her run around the corner, and she books it upstairs.
Little bitch.
All right. So we then move over to back outside.
In the
Stone
meanwhile-
Children. Group number 2, they're all going for... Actually, 2 of them are going for our good friend Takumbwa. Natural 1 and a 4. Natural 1 and a 9. And 2 of them are going for the boar. Natural 5 and a natural 7. Roll an absolute... I rolled 3 critical hits in a row with this dice the other day.
Well, I got 2 natural ones in a row and 2 natural 20s at the same time. As well.
There it is.
D&D.
It's balance.
Crazy. I think that's the best roll I ever had in my life.
Fair. The others are then going to turn on the other side, and they're going to attempt to attack. Based on their position, this one's going to step forward and attempt to attack. What's the boar's name again? Horus.
Sorry, would you mind,
that's-
DM? Sorry, would you mind
Yeah.
just switching over to the screen so that...
yes. Apologies. Bam.
I'm not blind anymore.
So this one just moved over to there, basically. And it was a 3 and a 5, naturally. A 6 and an 18. Does an 18 hit
18
Horus?
Yeah, 18. Horus is he's an animal. His armor's really low. 12 is.
Okay. Well, none of the others would have hit anyways. But Horus takes 4 bludgeoning damage as one of them manages to pop him right on the side of a rib. As you hear a little sort of sound.
Horus is looking pretty hurt.
And the next 2 attacks go towards Sarah. Holy shit, those were the better ones. That's an 18 and a 21.
Are you gonna roll good for me?
I don't know. The dice are doing nice things. For a total of 9 bludgeoning damage. As one hits you in the knee and it sort of causes you to buckle down, and as your head drops down, another one clocks you on the chin. These little fists, but little fists of stone. Bah. The other swings going wide.
Fists of fury.
At that point, though, it is your turn. Based on your position and your passive perception, there is a window at the top for the upper floor. You can just barely see your other friend. You can see sort of the top of their head.
the little tassel on the top of
Yep.
Right, sorry, I'm just trying to calculate my movement.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We should have bought some hand grenades.
I'll take so many attacks of opportunity if I try and move to where I want to move.
Not if I shoot you out.
That's kind of the point of these bastards. They're just like, full surround.
If you can take 3d10 damage, I can shoot you out.
No, I can't take 3d10 damage. Thanks for asking, though.
What
not
kind
at
of
this
weakling
point.
is this?
So if I go... What's that? 5, 10... I'm not gonna be able to fucking get there.
With your mouth there, boy.
Alright, you're not gonna like me very much, DM. But I'm just kind of like looking around me and kind of feeling the effects that these blows are having on me. I am going to just kind of look at my duplicate and go, "You want some sisters?" And I'm going to cast mirror image on myself, and 3 more duplicates kind of like
Hell
split
yeah.
out from me. Yeah, like an accordion.
All right, we'll have a
Now
green
for
one,
the second verse.
and a yellow one, and
Brown one.
I can do a dark orange. It's close as I can get.
It doesn't matter too much. They can't really do anything. It's more
Yeah.
just, it'll hopefully help me from getting hit all the time.
Yeah.
So I will do that.
Sure, for the purposes, we'll just scatter them around like that. There we go. Sweet.
So I think, and then I don't have any bonus actions. Yeah, no, that's it.
Cool.
I just make more of myself appear.
Just feeling this hit in the jaw, you sort of stand up and suddenly all these other forms like you sort of all come out, look at each other, sort of nod. All right.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Okay,
volleyball team.
I'm hoping that might distract a few of them enough for me to... Yeah,
Perfect.
alright.
I love it. Okay, and that's the end of your turn, correct?
Fuck, what's that one too? Yeah, no, I can't risk it. Yep.
Yeah. Alrighty. Barden, it is your turn.
So she's walked up the stairs. I'm gonna do the like scream mask thing where you're like she's running away and like falling over and stuff. I'm just gonna, like,
I feel like the tables have turned
Go
now.
behind. Lumbering
What's your
figure.
favorite scary
2,
movie?
3, 4, 5, 6. That is the max of your movement. Do you want to dash?
oh, can I not catch her?
No, because she got
Can I not
blasted
catch
back
her?
by the Eldritch Blast. She got an extra 10 feet.
Oh, that is frustrating.
Sorry, I swear
Because
on
I'm
your
only
team.
25 feet too. Like,
25.
oh, that is.
Sorry, it's my fault. I
Hey.
swear it on your team.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
well,
3, 4, 5.
once again,
I smell the feet of tiny bugs.
that's less because I've got less movement as a shitty dwarf too.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're at the
Yo.
base of the stairs. You can
Okay,
action
okay.
to dash if you want. You can get to her.
Nah. I'm not. I'm going to like take. I'm not going to action to dash. I'm
Let
going
me
to
do
spell
this
slot
though
to
for
dash.
you.
Yeah.
Reveal area.
Can I see her?
You can see up the stairs to the back of the room, and you can see her there.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Misty Step again.
Okay. So for that, I'd say you reveal the whole area because you're going upstairs.
Yeah.
Boom.
Is
I
that
don't
you
the
see
going
the
right
coffin?
up
area
to her?
before I smack her in the face.
That's the
though.
coffin.
Yeah, I'm Misty Stepping as soon as I can see her.
Yep.
However much movement I have to see her, I'm
Yeah.
gonna Misty Step.
You move up to her, and as you get to the top, you see the upstairs is just full of crap. There's scattered coins on the ground on one side. There's an old instrument on the other. There's a little desk with notes. There's children's toys. There seems to be a skull rested atop a barrel in front of a coffin that seems to be chained and padlocked shut. Yeah.
Out the window.
I'm going to just Misty Step and just be like, oh shit, I'm too slow.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
Boom! I love it. Hit that damage.
7,000 points of damage.
Six. Okay, so I'm gonna smite her. How was the? How do you rule the dice on smiting with a?
Yeah, I'd say it all doubles with a crit.
Okay, all doubles. Okay, and smiting's a no action. It's just a like
Yeah.
a thing.
when
You
you
just
hit the
use
card,
spell
yeah.
slots to do it. Okay, so I will use a. Yeah, I'll use my last second level spell slot. Nah, I'll just use a first level spell slot. And I roll. This is going to be nutcase level of damage. Okay, Warhammer. 1d8 plus 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
So many clickety clacks.
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee! 8, 14, 17, 18 times 2 is 36 plus 2 is 38 damage on the first hit.
How do you want to do this?
Crack.
And then I'm going to attack with my second hit and just be like,
Yeah.
Do the Sparta thing out the window.
You sort of like, you get to the bottom and you see her and you rear your weapon back before you Misty Step, and then suddenly your body in full mist flies up and almost skids to a stop before her as you then upward arc and hit her in the bottom of the jaw as she flies backward, and you see that that orange eye just out into the air and just scatter to the ground by your feet as she flies backwards, bouncing off the wall. And before she can hit, before she hits the floor, before she stumbles forward, if you wish to make another attack, she is already out of it. But in the moment of passion, you're welcome to make another attack if you want. Yeah,
I feel like this is
you
a
take a
home
swing.
run.
Hit her.
She bounces backward again into the glass window. It shatters behind her as you see her flip out, and the rest of you just see her
Eldritch Blast!
land in front. Suddenly,
Shoots her back through the
beams of
window.
energy just scatter against her as she's rolling and slams onto the floor. A spray of blood sprays outward across the snow in front of you, and you notice it has a almost pus-like color to it. Yeah.
Check, please.
What happens to, if I look out the window, what happens to the stone people?
They all seem to stop, and they all pause in their current stance, unmoving completely.
Amazing. Nice work up there.
How are you, dearies?
I think I need a coffee, but I'm okay.
I think I need to change my pants.
Come here, dearie. You were looking a bit
Like-
hurt.
Away from the children as I'm kind of like, and I accidentally brush up against one and
I'll just pick one up and move it.
Done.
and all my duplicates just form a line behind me.
Yep.
It's
Like
like
the
a
video game
1.5 ring around her, like COVID safe.
Do you need a bit of? Here, take this, dearie.
What is it?
And then I'll clasp my hands over her hands. Can I do like a medicine check to check how damaged she is?
Sure. Yeah.
Pretty good. Okay. 16.
16. Okay. What out of what are you?
So I suppose, she's got like, the pooling of blood underneath her skin. It's not quite a bruise yet. But you can kind of see like the side of her face. She doesn't look like she's about to keel over or anything like that. She's still, she looks more like scared and shaken. I suppose on a scale of 1 to 87, she's a 65. So she's not, like dying, but she's.
So as you drink the dark colored liquid, you would 65, 87, you would heal to full 22, 12, 22. Either of those, which is the correct number?
I don't know. You tell us.
22.
65.
Yeah, she lost 22 HP. So.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. And the bruises start to like rescind back into her skin, and she kind of like clicks her jaw back in place. You really didn't have to do that. But thank you, though. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for the assist.
Oh, it wasn't me, dear. It was Moradin.
Oh,
Well, thank you for the assist, young lady.
who was the young lady?
You,
Oh.
I guess,
Me.
in this case.
Right. Yeah, you're welcome. I was a little bit boxed in there. Usually I can do things, but I'm not useless is what I'm trying to say. And as we're talking, my duplicates start like fading out until it's just me standing there. I go. I can do things sometimes. Just it was a little bit hard. These things all boxed in.
It was a tricky situation, no doubt.
Right.
But well done.
I've got a bone to pick with you, young man.
I'm sorry.
Did your mother not teach you anything of value?
Not really. I didn't really know my mother. But
If you're called out for a duel, you leave the duelists alone.
Hmm.
Stomps up the stairs.
Well, I kind of called her out for a duel first, though.
So they disappear up the stairs inside the house. You guys see as the sun was setting at the moment of your arrival. By this point here, you sort of notice the very last of it vanish. And it is perhaps time for you to rest. Or not, your choice. You see the cavern behind. And you hear a shrill shriek emerge from the cavern the moment the last light disappears behind the horizon.
Right. Let's get inside and lock the door.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
as soon as the sun goes down, she just like looks over at the children and goes, "Yeah, wait for me. I'm coming in. Don't leave me outside with these guys."
You all make your way in. And are you guys going to rest? Take some time off? Heal your wounds type thing? Or are you guys going to
I think I would like to
prepare yourself
barricade the
before
place
pushing on?
and then have a rest.
Okay.
Yes, we know
We'll
there are
say-
weirdos in there.
For the purpose of brevity, you take your time, place a few things up, lock some things into place until you feel comfortable. You notice that the windows do have sort of like little
Shutters.
hinged covers. Yeah, shutters, which you can pull closed and sort of lock up before covering them up. And as you all find a place to relax for the evening, there was a fire burning inside, thin smoke just ever so slightly starting to pour out the top as you arrived. You can see the fire starts to pick up as the barely caught wood before now begins to burn stronger. And you all find comfort and relax for the evening. And that's where we'll take a break. Woo! So check out these messages, whatever they may be. And then we'll be back here in a bit. We may look a little different. We'll find out. But see you then.
So that's what happens when a Medusa makes a pact with a hag. And that eye that popped out. I wonder what the adventurers will do with that. Then, of course, I feel like they mentioned there was a coffin in the attic that was chained and padlocked. And that scream that echoed out from the cavern behind. I wonder what lies beneath the ice slum. Well, I know. But if you're curious and like to find out, why don't you join us for part 2 tomorrow night? Same time, same place, where we'll be exploring the rest of this journey. Inquest of the Holy City, part 2, into the ice slum. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you tuning on in. And why don't you consider giving us a follow if you haven't yet, if you're enjoying this sort of content. Otherwise, of course, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can hit the exclamation mark and type Discord. And when you enter that in chat, you will get a link to our fantastic Discord, where we've got an amazing community. Lots of people just talking D&D. So if that's your thing, and you want to talk about spoilers of the show and things like that, jump on in there. It's a good time. Well, I'm just excited for tomorrow night now, so I guess try to fall asleep if you can. I'm going to go do the same thing, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks again for tuning in, and hope you have a pleasant evening.